Hey Leonidas, so good to see you here. How you doing, my friend? Hey, light 7'7". Nicholas is the man. Man, you don't miss a stream. Doing just great. Thanks. How you doing? Doing great. Doing great. Doing fantastic, my friend. Showtime. Hello. What have we got? Vote Shal. Good to see you. Vain Pride. Fantastic. Alzenmering. My gosh, your name. Buonasera. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. How's the music? Too loud? Now you're gonna say, what music? Okay, don't mess with me, though. How do you feel about a warrior pope, Julius II? I don't think I have any... You know what? I need to start a series on popes. Historical popes and what they did. Because, I mean, the last video I made, of course, it's because it's a hot topic. The elections of the new pontiff. But still, I think there is some interest in there. Music is fine, good stuff. I do think there is some interest in there, and we could explore it as a historical topic, because you know me, I love talking about history, but sometimes the videos get blocked by the algorithm. Well, not blocked, but you know what I mean. It's like they don't really get views. But if now, like, this papal election has more traction on Google, it might be our opportunity to start like dashing out historical videos when they can get some coverage. You know, maybe how about like you members choose? I'm gonna poll it. I'm gonna do a poll with members now, like not this second, but I'll do it today during this live stream. We get a few ideas. You guys poll it, we make it. So that could be a cool idea. The warrior pope will be a man. Yeah, that could be a good video to make. Totally. Don't worry about it, Rhetorics. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. I appreciate you being here. We're gonna have to do some night gaming sessions again. I've been a little busy, but I'll do it. I do have a couple of topics. Say Nicholas, but first I want to see what chat wants to talk about. Give free roam to members. Ask me whatever you want. I stream a lot. Yeah, 20 streams a month. That's what I'm doing right now, Monday to Friday. And then there will be some extras at night when I play. Mostly for Twitch, to be honest. Those are because I'm trying to grow Twitch. But yeah, on the main, definitely I'm testing to see how it goes. And as you know, 4 streams a month dedicated to you guys, members of the channel. Thank you for the support. Every Friday, 5 p.m. CST. I'll be here. He led an army to battle. It's a cool story. Yeah, totally. I love how Nicholas is everywhere. He's everywhere. He's on Twitch. He's on YouTube. No, I don't practice HEMA now, Talos, because I don't have the time. It's not to mention it, the closest club is not exactly close, so we would have to like drive for a bit to get there, which makes it even harder. Maybe one day, you know, if this streaming side gig goes well, then maybe. I don't know who Jan Zizka is. Buonasera, Lord Dave the Kind. Finally get to one of your streams. Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. CST. And I stick to the schedule. As you can see today, I started at 5:00, guys. And for a Southern Italian, that's dedication right there. Maybe you could start your own club. Once again, yeah, it would be fun, but you would really need a lot of time for it. And time is the one thing I don't have right now. Mostly because of algorithm nonsense. That's what it is. Because the reason why, of course, I'm doing 30 videos a month plus 20 streams a month. That's 50 uploads a month, is because it is what I have to do, pretty much, if I want the channel to maintain relevancy, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, because I enjoy the streams. I'll be honest with you, I'm having a great time. But still, it doesn't give me any time to do side projects like something like a HEMA club, which wouldn't make any money. So I do need to give priority to stuff that where I can sort of fuse passion with a way to provide. So that I do both things, can play some games, can talk about interesting stuff, doing some research. But passion alone, when you got a family, yeah, I mean, again, not for me, but I know that people do say you need to unplug sometimes, but I can't complain. I'm not someone like a bricklayer or working in a coal mine. It's an easy job. So I can't complain. It's fine. I'd love to hear some histories of the worst or most evil popes. Oh yeah, we got a few in history, totally. Not worried about burning out after 12 years? No. Honestly, no. I think I've already, because it's not the first time that I become a daily uploader, and I have done live streaming on Twitch for 3 months in a row, like almost every night, and I don't get burned out. No. I'm good. You know how I see it? The reason why I never get burnout is because I don't see it as, oh my gosh, I need to make a video, or oh my gosh, I need to live stream. I see it as, wow, I got the best job in the world, let's go. And so I don't get a burnout. It's very much has to do with your mental approach. I think some of those YouTubers that get like, oh, I'm so burned out, I hate it. It's like they're losing the plot. They're missing the actual perspective of how lucky we are and how privileged we are with having a job that I can be home. And if my wife needs me, I can say, all right, chat, 1 second, please. You guys are awesome. I can go downstairs if she needs me for whatever reason. So it's great. Just maintain your perspective, and then you'll never get burned out. The only thing I would say, be careful and make sure you get 8 hours sleep. That's the one thing. Mobius, thank you for the support. Hey, brother. Anyway, you can create a playlist with videos of you finding your faith. I only saw one and couldn't find the others you mentioned. I only have one video where I talk about faith, mostly because I try to maintain the channel secular so that more people can come here, and regardless of background, I maintain it secular. I did make one exception with one specific video entirely dedicated to faith because I was asked, but usually that's how I do. You thought it was 2? No, it's 1. It's just that there is a second one that is unlisted, and you'll find it as a link in the description of the one video about faith. The second one was a bit more private, so I kept it unlisted, but it's there so that only the people that actually are really interested and are going to go into the description and click it are the ones that are going to see it. But it's not a video that it's inside the algorithmic stuff, because it's not meant to be. That's the idea. Exactly, yeah. No, I didn't remove ads because I never do. I think I do see sometimes people saying, oh, guys, this is a topic that, for instance, I've seen a creator. I'm not going to say the name, but I've seen a creator. He made a video about war, or it's either war. Or, no, actually, I think it was a video about people losing their homes because of some natural disaster, and he said, no, I don't want to make money on this, so I deactivated monetization. That's wrong. Maintain monetization and then donate it. At that point, do that, because if the video gets a lot of views, there is no reason not to monetize it. If you really feel like, oh, I feel bad about, okay, then donate it. I've done it with my first plushie. I donated 100%. I didn't make $1. And I donated it to St. Jude's Hospital, and you can do that. There's no need to deactivate monetization, in my opinion, ever. Oh, don't worry, Nicholas. No need to apologize. How do I like my burger? Like, it depends what you mean. But anyways, I'm a cheeseburger guy. It's just that I'm not into those like burgers that are too gourmet and they are so large that I can't even bite it and everything falls off. When I'm into a burger, my favorite will be a smash burger. Those are my favorite. Smash burger. Give me a smash burger, I'm happy. If I don't have access to that, then I'll have a McDonald quarter pounder. Love it. With cheese. That's what I like. Pretty well known in Hungary. Oh, very cool, Makiverem. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Ernia. For good to have you here. Just something that I found interesting in European history. A video on papacy. How papacy what got corrupted in the past. Yeah, we could look into that, definitely. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing about, because at one point in the medieval period, the Pope was claiming infallibility, which is a doctrine that they don't claim anymore. And to me, that is preposterous, because even from the perspective of a very, even if you're like, of course, to an atheist, it's obviously preposterous, but even from the perspective of a very dedicated Christian, only Christ is perfect from the perspective of a Christian. No human can claim perfection. It doesn't matter what your position is in the church or in what church. So I think that's one of the paths that the church in the medieval period went into that could be considered a dark path. What is a smash burger? Basically, I'll show you in a minute. But basically, it's like a burger that when they cook it, it begins as a bowl of beef, but then they put it on top of a plate for cooking, and then they smash it. They literally squash it with it's like a paddle, and they squash it, and it gets very, 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 very thin, and then they flip it. It cooks very fast, and sometimes they add onions to it. It's in fact how burgers historically started being made in the US before they went into pre-made patties. You'll be like, wait, are you a historian of burgers too? Hey, I like my history, so I will look into the history of the food I really like. And then, that's how I like it. And there are a few places where you can actually get a smash burger that they're like trying to kind of bring back this, and it's becoming a trend now. So I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes a thing. Smash burgers are great. I love that you're a burger historian, says Dota. Yeah, I researched it a bit. Because, I love smash burgers. I had one in New York. It was really good. But I think you can find it in several states. It's not just in New York. I think the most famous smash burger restaurant is in New York, but you can find them in other places. Even if you have a cheesecake factory near you, I think they started offering them very recently. So you might be able to try one at a cheesecake factory now. Meta Burger, let's go. The Burgertron. You just saw the N64? Yeah. I always like to have something different here on the side for every stream. It's kind of a fun way to personalize, edit, and customize. Thank you, Halfgazo. Welcome to the members, my friend. Welcome to the inner circle. Yeah, I always say that. Welcome to the inner circle. I love saying that. What do you think about the GTA 6 trailer? Haven't watched it, so we might review it together today, since I imagine it's relatively short. Epoch, so I might check it out as one of the things we could see and give you just a direct reaction to the GTA 6 trailer, see what happens. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, Frisky, I think, the Cheesecake Factory is a bit everywhere, really. I know there are a few in Tennessee. There is one in near Nashville. There is one, as you say, in Colorado. I think they're pretty much everywhere. I think they're everywhere. California, I'm sure. Vegas has some pretty damn good food too. Oh, really? I've never been to Vegas. Shake Shack makes a smash burger. Do they? Smash burgers are great. I actually had a burger tonight, says Lord Dave, in one of the few chains here in the UK who can mince the meat, chops, and serve it medium rare. Okay, that sounds good. So when it comes to me, I can't stand rare meat, and even medium rare is a bit too much. I'll have medium to medium well when it comes to my steak, for instance. I just can't stand it when it's red. Pink, I'm okay with. I'm not saying you have to burn it. Pink, I'm okay, but... And it also depends on the cut. Like, for instance, something like, I don't know, a sirloin Yeah, I'll have it medium well, I guess. New York strip is already a bit hard, so I'll have it medium. Maybe a steak discussion here. But if I'm having like a ribeye, probably like medium, yeah, a medium well probably is how I like it. With a bit of pink, I'm fine. I just can't say, I got, yeah, bloody no, I can't do that. It disgusts me. I think it's a psychological thing, by the way. It's definitely not a texture thing because I can recognize why people like their meat rare. It's because it's a texture thing, right? So I can recognize the texture is definitely not a problem. In fact, it might even be an improvement. And the taste, kind of the same to me. But the idea that there is blood on my plate, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Like, I can't overcome it. So it's medium well. Medium to medium well is how I eat my meat, my beef. I'd fall unconscious as soon as the food arrives. Yeah. No carpaccio for you? Well, carpaccio doesn't have blood because carpaccio is basically, it's raw meat. I don't, like, I tried it. For me, it's like, I don't know, if you give it to me, I'll eat it, but I would never order it, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I'm not freaking Legacy of Kain. I'm not trying to reenact the Legacy of Kain, for crying out loud. I understand that, APOC. Yeah, that would disgust me too. So, kind of depends. It's a situation. Definitely psychological. Yeah, Derek. I had the same thing, but I overcame it. Well, I'm glad you did. I'm not interested in overcoming it, though, because it's not like I feel I'm missing out. I love steak the way I eat it. It's really good. In fact, I'm more about the seasoning. I'm more about the salt and pepper. Or sometimes they have in Tennessee, they have a type of seasoning for steak called gunpowder, obviously. I mean, it figures. But it's really good. It is really, really good. The one thing I don't use on steak is A1 sauce. I'm like, for me, that's a waste. That's a waste. I actually once saw this video by one of the few videos that I watched by Mr. Beast, because it's not the type of content creator I watch. Too much going on, too much yelling. Like, I get it for kids and young people, but for me is like, no, I can't stand that kind of, I need something that I can think, that I can absorb, rather than something that gives me stimulus overload. But regardless, I remember that he made a video where he went to this like very expensive upper echelon steak place that cost like $10,000 for a steak or something insane like that. And they literally, was him and his friends, much younger than now. But then there was like this, because in these places you'll have like a restaurant guy who is kind of an expert, right? He's not just a waiter. He's like someone that knows, maybe is like an expert of these things. And then they asked him for an A1 sauce, and the guy refused. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's disrespectful. You're paying $10,000 and you want to put A1s. I think they did it because they thought it was funny. Maybe it's just a generational thing. I don't know what to tell you guys. You saw that one, Nicholas? Yeah. So I was interested in the steak, and so I'm like, what does a $10,000 steak? Whatever. A connoisseur. Thank you, Jersey girl. Good to see you, by the way. Yeah. What can you say? Isn't carpaccio like ham? It's beef. Carpaccio, I think, is made with beef, but it's so thin. It's raw, but it's so thin that you can eat it. For what I remember, I only had it like a couple of times. Probably APOC, yeah. I mean, I can't complain. It's not for me, but he's like the most successful YouTuber on YouTube, so clearly works. So it would, in fact, it would make no sense for him to change his content to me, since I'm not his demographic, his target demographic. So I just end up not watching it. I love a red wine reduction with my steak. For sure, I get it, yeah. I get it, yeah. It's a good point, Nicholas, yeah, sure. You think a lot of his viewership is botted? I don't know, though. Because how much can you bot? This guy gets like 100 million views on his upload. It's insane. Can you imagine that? Like, already, if a video of mine hits 1 million views, which sometimes happens, whenever that happens, I'm like, wow, I can't believe it. And I know there are creators, like, for instance, Critical, each upload of his gets at least 1 million views, but I'm not there. So whenever I do get 1 million views, I'm like, wow, I can't believe it. The guy gets like 100 million. It's insane. the views. Yeah. So yeah. The Inner Circle of the Dark Angels, says Alza. That's a pretty cool name. Hmm. How come we always talk food? I don't know, man. We always end up talking food, and I'm not even hungry today because I had a decent lunch. What did I have for lunch? I know it was good, but I don't remember what it was. That's great. No idea. It's attention grabbing, yeah, Talos. You're right. Camera shift every 3 seconds. Yeah, it's not for me. It's not for me. Yeah, where is the cheese? You're right. Maybe later because right now I'm not hungry. Liver? No, I can't eat any organ. Can't stand organs. It's probably the same reason. But no. I mean, I tried. What did I try? I tried heart, didn't like it. I tried brain, didn't like it. I tried. I think I tried liver maybe at one point. I tried spleen, didn't like it. Like, I hate it. But I wouldn't do it because it makes me, yeah, I know, it makes me like, bleh. And with the brain, I wasn't told it was brain because my uncle was an absolute dip, S-H-I-T, because I was a child. And you should always tell the person what you're serving them. It is wrong to be like, because his idea was he didn't want me to be like, ew, I don't want it, and make a judgment before I tried it. Still tasted horrible, so it's not like, whatever, I get it. But I think a person should be informed of what they're eating. I think it's wrong to do that. Yeah, brain, cow's brain, of course. But yeah, still remember seeing the freaking full brain on the table. It was disgusting. And it doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like nothing. That's the taste of it. Not for me. Hate it. I'll never eat it ever again in my life. Your dad tricked you into eating veal? Well, veal still, though. It's not too bad, but something that a person might feel like, oh, I didn't want to eat that. That's wrong. Doner, I like that. Yeah, you mean like kebab? I love kebab. Yeah, veal is good. I like veal. I've never heard of brain. Yeah, they like cut it in little pieces and fried it. That's how they served it. Some people eat it. I don't even know why, honestly, because it doesn't taste good. I will rather have a good ribeye steak with some chips slash French fries on the side. I'll have that. There's no need whatsoever. No need. Ernia says, I watched my female side of my family cook and eat an entire sheep head with Oh my gosh. That was the closest I ever got to becoming vegan. I understand it. Nah, not for me. Kebab was the best food after drinking well in Germany anyways. I love kebab. I had some really good kebabs in England when I'm talking like 20 years ago. Longer in fact. They had some excellent kebab in England. I also had some excellent kebab in Naples. Naples have got some really good ones. In Sicily, I only know of one place in Palermo that makes actually pretty decent kebab. Yeah, I like kebab a lot. Oh, that's it, Jersey girl. Yeah, exactly. It was a stupid veal parmesan. Never had that. Derek Handam. Doner pizza even better. Yeah, probably you do need to get drunk to eat that one because honestly, I don't see the need to put food like at this point put spaghetti on top of the pizza. I mean, what's the point? Hey, Desmiescos, good to have you here. Remember you from the last stream. I'm memorizing my members here. I'm memorizing. We've got almost 300 members at the moment, but you have been growing a lot, and I really appreciate that. So thank you everyone for becoming a member, because yeah, the memberships are growing. We started with 200 members last week, and now we are almost at 300. So that's very nice growth. Very nice growth. Very nice growth. Yeah, the streams work. I believe so. Yeah. Making me miss Germany. I've never been to Germany. 300 is a good number, says Leonidas Sparta. Should I call you Leonidas or should I call you Adam? I don't know what you prefer. But yeah, you're right. We need to double it though. We need to double it. We need 600 members. Man, could you imagine 1,000 members? That would be fantastic. At that point, I think I could really work on videos that, like, who cares if they get 10,000 views and it's super researched. Not a problem. Self-funded, literally. I really hope we grow. 300 was your profession, yeah. For some reasons, I have to renew my membership every month because it automatically cancels. I wonder why, Talos. I wonder if that's something that YouTube does. I don't really know how the system works from that point of view. Forbidden videos, what's that? Germany is beautiful. I'd recommend a visit, especially Trier. I believe so. Yeah, Germany sounds like a place I would love to visit. Totally. Man, you're right. I need to do, like, when we hit 300 members, I need to make a 300 special talking about 300. You know, oh, that would be good. You just gave me a great idea, Leonidas. You mainly follow for the language channel. Yeah, whatever you like, mate. World Friends, Italian versus Romanian. Yeah, I'll have to check that one out. You're right. Let me see if... I want to check very quickly. Just want to check very quickly how many members exactly, because it updates after a couple of days. So I don't know if it has updated just yet, but I want to see how far away we are from 300, because, I mean, that's a cool number. Okay, so we click earn, we click membership. We are at 283. So yeah, 17 people, guys. 17 people, we got to 300. What a number. Man, we need to do that. Totally. Oh, and in general, anyone watching now, if you please do me a favor and check to make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because people have been telling me they've been unsubscribed. I keep getting comments of people telling me, hey, I was unsubscribed from your channel. So please do check. And if you still haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It would be fantastic to have you as a member, as a channel subscriber anyways, because I would appreciate that. And then for anyone who wishes to join memberships, of course. Want to play a game? You have to choose between brain and pineapple pizza. Ooh, brain. Absolutely brain. That was a good one, though. That was a good one. Still subbed on YouTube, Cortova? That's good to know. Thank you. Subscribed, liked, and wearing the ring. Hey, Evil Black, you're the man. Talking about the ring, here it is. I should be wearing it. I love wearing the bronze one, by the way. I have the silver one too, because I got both. Like, they sent me both, the rings that I make, right? A Ring of the Noble one. But the bronze one, the thing about the bronze one is that occasionally I like... It's a good way, actually. Let me tell you this. If you take a little bit... If you see that it's getting a tiny bit dull, then what you can do to polish it again very easily is just take a little bit of baking soda, add a squeeze of lemon juice, and then take a sponge, put it in the mixture, and just rub the ring and then wash it. And it's going to look gorgeous again. Although then again, I haven't done it in a while and it still looks good. It's a good ring. It's a good ring. Always have it here on the side. Of course, the silver one doesn't need that because it's silver, but yeah. 300 would be a great time to also do an analysis on the Sabaton song, Sparta. Oh, I didn't know they made us, because I know them for the other one. Hussar, the winged hussars. I like the silver because black is my favorite color and silver is bright black. Well, sure. I mean, silver is kind of a, to me, is more of a metallic gray, but sure. I love seeing the Game Boy and N61 in the background. Yeah, still working, by the way. Game Boy still works perfectly. Very good conditions. Let me see if I can, there we go. Very good conditions, including the cosmetic conditions, to be honest. I mean, look at this. With Tetris. Sorry for the camera not cooperating. There you go. And yeah, it still works. We might turn it on in a little bit. Yeah. Nice, right? Cortova, yeah, I know. I got a bunch of inbox Game Boy games in the back where the blue light is. And it was revolutionary because it was like the first portable console that allowed you to swap games, as far as I know. Because before that, you had like the Tiger Watches that is like one mini thing with one game. But this one allowed you to swap, and that's a big deal. Like now we give it for granted. In fact, it's not even a thing. We went past beyond it mostly, and now it's a lot of it is digital download. But the idea of I buy the console once and then I just buy the games. We had it on regular consoles, but for portable, I believe the OG Game Boy is where it started with portable. And I mean, if you think about it, Switch still uses cartridges. Man, they like their cartridges, don't they? Nintendo. I miss my OG Game Boy, but I love my Hero Edition 3DS. Yeah, sure. Tetris is great. Never had a Game Boy, but I had the cartridge extension for Game Boy games for SNES. Oh yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. I never had it, but I remember seeing it. So sorry to hear that, Jersey. maybe you can still, maybe he still has it. Who knows? True. Yeah, some games do have like the battery inside, and then you lose the save state, unfortunately. Yeah, about Shal Tetris was great. I liked music A, the one that goes dun 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 dun. That one was music A. Still remember it. Man, the memories we keep, I don't even know why such a memory stays, but it stays. 30 years ago, you can find, I didn't, you can still find these on eBay. They're not too expensive. And I also have a Game Boy Color somewhere here that it still works. You never liked Nintendo? The IPs are meh? It depends on the IP. I mean, Zelda are great games. I love Zelda. And Mario Kart with friends is always a good game, a good IP to play for local multiplayer. What else is there that is on Nintendo? I mean, back in the NES, Super NES is when consoles were really different. So someone owns a Sega Genesis Mega Drive and someone owns a Super Nintendo. The games are completely different. So the game library wasn't like today that you can have an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 5 and the game libraries are almost identical, exception being a very few games that are like you wouldn't get Halo on PlayStation, but I'm saying it's very few. But back in the day, the entirety of the so there's that. Then when it comes to Nintendo, I guess, I mean, NES and Super NES with Super Mario World, it really was worth it. And I didn't own one. I was a Sega guy during the 16-bit console war era. However, my cousin had a Super Nintendo and my neighbor had a Super Nintendo, so I did grow up playing the Super Nintendo that way. Same, Cortova? Yeah, there you go. I remember that song, but not where from. Yeah. It's the... that's what it is. Halo may be coming to PlayStation. Seriously, Vane? Mario Kart, the Balloon Force split screen. Yeah, the battle mode. The one with the balloons is the battle mode. It's pretty fun. You're a PC gamer, I see, since 1991. I'm mostly a console guy, although now, of course, I game on PC a lot. But the only time when I was a PC, but not PC, the only time when I was a computer guy was with the Amiga 500. And then with the floppy disks, I did that for a couple of years. And then at one point in the 90s, I did own, after returning from England, my parents bought me a PC. I don't remember what it was, but I remember it had Windows 95. So, with the CD-ROM, the tower that you push it, zzz, and you get the CD-ROMs. And I remember playing like Nox on that. It was a good game. I remember playing Diablo 1. And what else did I play? Maybe Heroes. Probably Heroes. Yeah, I even had the two speakers. I miss the speakers, but I still have a couple of speakers here. The two speakers that you put on the sides and they are beige. Good times. Middle school vibes here in Windows 95. Yeah, I know. I still occasionally I'll show you now, but there is a website that can emulate old school operative systems. Operative systems. I don't know how to pronounce it. OS. Including Windows 95. And you can literally open it on your computer and it emulates it. And it's kind of fun. It's not like you can do much, but yeah. My sister to this day don't want to play Mario Kart. Let me see. Oh, I don't know. I missed the rest. It seems to remember some of Game Guide magazines were console specific. Yeah, sure. Totally. Have you had an MSX? I don't know what an MSX is, actually, so probably not. DOS guy? I see. Jana Sisters in Commodore 64. Jana Sister I had on, and still have on the Amiga 500, yeah, which was the better looking version. I even played it. Let me show you, since we're talking about this, among other things, because, you know, streams are always all over the place. That's me, all right. But check this out. Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna give you a massive nostalgia rush. You ready? Check this out. Wait. So let me see. So that's my gaming channel, right? And with my wife, she often participates. But anyways, among all this stuff, Outrun, I've got it all, mate. PlayStation, Populous, where is the one that I was talking about now? Let me see if I can find it. We had the whole Centurion, Silent Hill. I play a lot of games. You're like, when do you even have time to do this? I don't know. There is... Check the intro. I gotta show you the intro. Wait. You're not getting audio, sorry. I just want to show you the intro because it's just too good. Oh, don't worry about it. Deleting it. You can rewrite it anytime. Now check the intro, guys. I'm having fun with my gaming channel. I don't even care if it gets views. I'm just having fun. Look at that. Now insert the disc. Yeah, so just to show you, I played this at my cousin's place, my cousin Eva. There he is. Hey, double Metatron. Aha. Yeah, anyways, that was from the, just wanted to show you a little bit of the gaming channel, because yeah, I've got some good stuff. What a treasure vault. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm building. And I'm having a good time. Look at the size of the mouse. Yeah, it's called a tank mouse for a reason. It's a tank. And it's one, I have it here. It's one of those, oops, sorry. It's one of those that have the little thing here. Like, it's not optical. It was before optical. I mean, cool music, yeah. It is a bit, yeah, sure, Raphael. It's a bit of a clone from for Super Mario, for sure. Though it has its own flair. The music is even better, if you ask me. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's a bit like the idea of a Souls-like a bit. Like, it's a genre. How many clones of Call of Duty are there? Like, but at the end of the day, as long as you bring in your own graphics, your own flair, your own character. I mean, personally, I don't have a big deal with it. But then again, what can I say? Old school gamers do like them for better speed. Yeah. Trackball mouse. Thank you, Cortova, for the word. No, it's after the original Super Mario. So clearly, it's like yeah, they took a lot of inspiration. Let's put it this way. So yeah. Exactly, Jessica. The mouse. Hey there, Banzi Show. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate. It's good to have you here. Yeah, and of course, I think the old school games, old school computers made us patient because you had to wait. You had to wait quite a bit, like you're saying. But to be honest, I never really go. In fact, my wife asked me the other day, and she's like, because I put a disc so she could play a little bit with the Amiga, just to show her. And she's like, so what did you do? Because the game was waiting. It was Lemmings 2, the Tribes, but it took some time. It was making the noises. And she told me, so what did you do when you were a child? They're like, I just waited patiently. She just laughed. Yeah, it was great. I just waited patiently. That's what you do. You just wait for the thing to do its thing. Do you remember when, if you guys remember, and this happened with both old school Commodore computers, but also with the early IBMs, whenever a computer was making noises and it was loading, the adults would say, Oh, it's thinking. Do you remember that? No one does it anymore. But do you remember when people would say that, the adults? Oh, it's thinking. That's what they would say. Yeah, you remember that, Cortova, totally. I think that's something that happened worldwide. You still say that? Well, that's nice. 100 remember percent. Yeah. Yeah, I remember my uncle, my dad, they were all like that. I guess it's the idea of, I don't know, I always find it fascinating. Even when I look at old school machine language and then basic and how they worked, I'm interested in that stuff. I don't cover it on this channel, but it's something that, because I'm interested in all history, not just, it's just that my content has kind of taken a focus on the main channel onto ancient Rome, medieval period, feudal Japan, and classical antiquity, prehistory, Bronze Age, because I love that stuff. But I also love like the 80s, the 50s, the 90s, and that's why I kind of started the third channel as a little passion pet project, if you will. Oh no, Jersey girl, sorry to hear that. Your mom would say it's thinking. There you go. Yeah, there you go. I see Java. Yeah, I don't know anything about it's a programming language, right? You remember installing WoW, so World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King for about 7 hours from multiple disks. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. It's like delayed gratification, I guess, was like hardwired into our thinking due to a generational thing. On the flip side, I sometimes worry that modern kids are the opposite. They are given everything so quickly that they have no patience. They're like they want everything immediately because that's how they are kind of, I don't even know if I want to use the word educated, but that's how I think that's a problem with, it could be a problem with the new technology and how fast it is. Not to mention the algorithms that work the way they do. And we haven't had that much time to study the effects of social media addiction to young minds because they are literally the guinea pigs. I hate saying that, but they are. They are the first generations that are grown. Like when I was my first phone, I had at age 18 because I was conscripted into the Navy. That's when I got my first phone, and it was a Nokia Motorola. That's what it was. So it's very the one that it was like yellow, and you would open the little like this. That's how it was. So yeah, my entire infancy, like, it was like, yeah, sure, I would play video games. I guess my dad's generation, for them, it was read a book, play football outside. We were already a generation that spent more time inside. So I guess that was a generational difference. And I'm sure that my parents saw it, and possibly even more their parents saw it as a bit of a problem. The same way we see modern tech as a bit of a problem. Now, whether it is going to be a problem or not, time will tell. You got your first phone at 19, yeah. Now they get their phones at 7, and they are iPhones. Football, you mean soccer? Both, whatever. Whatever. I still have a VHS rewinder. Yeah, I still have it. When the kids complain about the internet loading slowly, she would tell them to rewind tapes. Makes sense. Yeah, I remember that. Downloading would take forever. Yeah, true. When we learned OOP in university, we used Java as the language. I see. It wasn't that hard. Cool. Makeverim. I think the one positive aspect of kids with phones is that, if something weird happens, they can call you. And that's something we didn't have. So we would have to call an adult somewhere something weird was happening. But now there's that, and also the fact that as a parent, maybe you can like call your kid, making sure everything is all right. So I don't. That's a positive aspect. But then the negative aspect is that they get addicted to the thing. Phones that are incredibly powerful. Our phones are computers. This is a computer, by the way. And that's in fact one of the main differences if you think about it. Even in the 80s and 90s, the phone was used to make phone calls. The computer was used to compute. Then you had the TV was used to watch TV. The radio was used to listen to the radio. Like each technological item had its purpose, one purpose. Now it's everything in one. It's a photograph. It's a camera as well. It's a video camera as well. Every single one of these things that I'm mentioning had its own device in the 80s and 90s. But now everything has been condensed into this that has everything. And it's a big difference. True, say Nicholas, it's true. Hello, Skidsmerk. So good to have you here. What else can we add to the phones now? Yeah, we need to see like a button that makes coffee so you can drink from the phone. That could be something they could do. Man, I still remember back in Sicily, they did this thing that we had these buses only in summer because Sicily is an island, so we have beautiful beaches. Did I pronounce it right? Yes. And so you had these buses in Palermo that they had no roof, so you could get nice fresh air. And these would be the buses that take you from the city to the beach. And then inside these buses, you had coffee machines. So you could literally put, and this cost like regular, like you would just buy a €1 ticket and you're good. And yeah, so you could make coffee inside the bus, and it's Italian coffee. Like that was good coffee. You remember the Sony Ericsson K750i? Wow. Hey, Higashi Martial Arts. Great to have you here. Perfect timing. You're on commute? I see. Good to see you here. It is always dangerous, isn't it, Raphael? Sicily sounds gorgeous. Un caffè in un autobus. See, let me see if I can find like a picture of it. I don't know if I can, but I can try. Autobus. I remember it was the 806. Let's see. Maybe? No. I mean, I found some little cute buses, because our buses are orange, by the way. Or orange and white, kind of depends. I'm trying to see if I can find that one. I don't even know if they discontinued it, but it was a fun service that we had back in the day. So I'm just trying to see. Well, I guess. Couldn't find a picture now. But yeah, Sicily has got some gorgeous, like for instance, the Mondello beach is the one in Palermo. It's this one here, let me show you. This one was 15 minutes from my home. And it's one of the main beaches in Palermo. And it's how you see it in these pictures. That's what it looks like. It's very nice. It is very nice. So Sicily is gorgeous. It really is. Not because I'm from there, but it really is gorgeous. I mean, people come from all over Italy to enjoy Sicilian sea. And this is just the one that was 15 minutes from my home. It's not even the best one, but look how clear the water is. How clean the water is. And that's one thing that I personally love about Sicily. Yeah. The turquoise color of, yeah, exactly. And then if we look at something like that is even better, would be maybe Cefalù. 1 second. Yeah, Cefalù is also a beautiful place. I'm just giving you a tour guide of Sicily. Maybe let me remove this for now, just so you can see well. This would be Cefalù, which is also very nice because it's a little quaint town in Sicily. And as you can see, you just exit your little home and get into the sea directly. So Cefalù is also a nice historic place to visit. They have beautiful churches. And that's another nice one. Yeah, you see. Cefalù is like 1 hour from Palermo, maybe not even an hour, in fact, depending on how you go. And then another one that I would like to show you is Capo d'Orlando. Yeah, Capo d'Orlando. I don't know if I can. Yeah, there we go. So what makes this one special? It's more on the eastern, going more towards the east. What's special about Capo d'Orlando is that the water is literally green and blue, and it's gorgeous. Like when even if I was brought up in Sicily, so it's not like I'm not from there. I am, but first time I saw the water in Capo d'Orlando or Santo Stefano. That's another place that is like that as well. Santo Stefano. My mind was blown by the color of the water. Santo Stefano, Sicily. Let's see. See if I can show you. I could be your tour guide. Yeah, look. That's what I'm talking about. Like the colors are unbelievable. In Santo Stefano and Capo d'Orlando is I don't even know. See, green and blue, like I was telling you. It is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, these are, if any of you members, particularly because it's easier with members, look at this. It's like you are bathing in liquid emerald. That's what it is. So so yeah, if you ever do a trip to Sicily, just let me know, and I'll give you a few locations because I know my island very well. I've already taken a lot of like foreign friends, Americans, Germans. I've already taken them around because I know where to take them. I really know where. Like I'll make it a great time. I'll make it a great time. The only problem with me taking you around is that I might not shut up when it comes to like the history of the place. So there is that. That's a dangerous thing that could happen. But yeah, La Sicilia, Sicily. You prefer mountains? Believe it or not, we have those too. Like I filmed a video. Sicily's not famous for it, but I filmed a video a while ago in samurai armor. And a lot of people ask me, where the heck did you film it? Because we got up in the mountains and it was the fog was very intense. You couldn't see anything. And I was like, Sicily. And they're like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, there are places like that too. So kind of depends. Hey, Holfdan. Yeah, I mean, you're from Iceland. Iceland is like unbeatable. For what I've seen, Iceland is unbeatable, man. What a place. I hope to be able to take my wife to Iceland one day. What's the population of Iceland? I don't even know. We're not here to hear you shut up. Exactly. Perfect place for a honeymoon? Yeah, sure. Sure. Any update on the new helmet you're getting, asks Leonidas. So, yeah, I texted them and I said, did you guys send it? Because I thought they had shipped it already, but I still haven't received it. So I did text them. I didn't really check if they replied. Hopefully they'll reply soon. They're a little slow. They're good armorers, but are a little... That's the problem with a lot of armorers in Europe, and I'm sure you know that, Leonidas. But sometimes I think they should hire someone who takes care of customer service and emails, because I've had a lot of problems with armorers where I had to send them 17 messages to get a reply. That does happen sometimes, and I understand they're busy, they're smashing iron, and I respect that. But I'm saying maybe have a friend of yours, your sister, your little brother, and if they, take care of that, because customer support is important in any business. Spider population 0. A little under 400,000 here. Oh, I see. In your city, you mean, I guess. Hey, Daniel Edwards. So good to have you here. Ciao, Raf. Hope you had a good week. I had an absolutely great week. Couldn't make many of the stream this week. Don't worry about it. It's good to have you here today. Not a problem. It's fantastic. Sign me up, says Jersey girl. That is good. Yeah, you did say that. No wonder why my mom was proud of her Sicilian heritage. Yeah, Sicily is a gorgeous place. Really is. It's just so you need to know where to go. Like even when you go to a city like Palermo, which is a beautiful city, but if you go to the wrong parts, it's not gonna look great. It's gonna be like, oh, I don't know if I like this place. But then you as a native, I'll take you to the medieval cathedral in Palermo. Then it's gonna blow your mind. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, it feels like it's a different place. Like, you need to know where to go. And not too far from Palermo, there is a cathedral. There are two cathedrals. One is in the city, and one is on top of a mountain in a municipality that is not called Palermo anymore. It's called man, you can tell I don't live there anymore. Man, my friend lives there. I can't believe it. Whatever. It's called something else. Monreale. Thank you. And in Monreale, they have this smaller church. It's a smaller cathedral. But what's amazing is that when you enter, everything inside, it has a vault and with a huge image of Jesus. And it's the what we call Cristo Panto Creatore. So it's like the Panto Creator Christ. I don't know. It's an image of Christ as a creating God, and it's all in gold. It's all in gold. And this is medieval. Before anyone says, but why did they do it in gold? It's in the Middle Ages, when there was an accumulation of wealth in the kingdom of two Sicilies, and that wealth was expressed through the building of these massive cathedrals. It's just that the one in Palermo is incredible from the outside, and the one in Monreale is incredible from the inside. So, yeah. I heard Napoli is a bit of a bad rep. Do you think it's warranted? Well, let me tell you this, Raphael. I lived in Naples for 4 years because that's when I went for university. Naples is gorgeous, but it is unfortunately dangerous if you don't know what you are doing. So, like, what I would do is, if you have friends that can take you around, you're fine. You're going to be 100% fine. Not a problem. But if you're on your own and you don't act carefully, so like basically imagine you arrive at Naples station. Now the area around the station is not great, but as long as you leave it and then you go to other areas of the city, then you'll be fine. But unfortunately, like some tourists sometimes, because they're not used to it, they walk around the area in the station, they stop, they look at their expensive phone while they're wearing expensive cameras and they're carrying expensive bags, and all of that makes you a target for some people. Of course, those horrible people do not represent the entirety of the Neapolitan population. Neapolitans are very heartwarming and welcoming people, but there are some, unfortunately, bad apples that give it a really bad rep. And those bad apples are a real thing, and they will do that. But as long as you are with natives, with locals, and they take you around, you'll have that time of your life. But if you're on your own, you get into a taxi, but the taxi driver is dodgy, because some taxi drivers are really dodgy, so it's gonna be weird. Yeah, so that could happen, unfortunately. It sounds like Medellin, Colombia, I imagine. Holstan, yeah. I imagine there would be like some points of connections. So to give you, I kind of want to show you one thing that is going to blow your mind about Naples. I'm going to show you two things so you know what I'm talking about. Okay. One moment. Palis. Okay. All right, that's exactly what I was looking for. One more picture and then you'll see. Okay, so guys, just to show you what I'm talking about. This is Naples, okay? So of course, when you see something like this, it looks dirty, it looks messy, it looks unkept like this. It doesn't look like a place that you're like, goodness gracious, I don't want to go there. Well, this is a nice image, I guess. But like that, you're like, ooh, I don't know if I like that. I don't want to go. So if you walk around, you don't know where you're going. Well, this is kind of characteristic. The colors are nice, I suppose. But like places like this, when you see this, you'll be like, I don't know, man, that looks dodgy. Sure. But this is also Naples. Piazza del Plebiscito. And this is, in fact, not too far from what you just saw. And that's why I'm saying, if you know where you're going in Naples, it's gonna blow your mind. Their coastline is to die for. It is, and particularly if you go up high, because in general, it is a little bit like divided into, you have what is sometimes referred to as La Napoli Bene. So like the upper class is usually up. So the further up you go in the city, up literally, because the city is kind of like this, so it goes really way up. Then it will look like a completely different city, and then the lower parts tend to be a bit more dodgy, although those are the parts where you get the best food. Okay, like, because that's what I lived as a student. I had no money, so I lived in like one of the dodgiest areas in Naples. Not never was a problem, but then again, I was living there. I was coming from Sicily. It's not like I grew up in flower land, so I knew how to handle myself when it comes to, you gotta be careful who you're talking to, whatever. So I never had a problem in Naples, but I was living in one of the dodgiest areas because it was cheap, and they have the best food. And the people are nice. As I say, it's the bad apples. It's the bad apples. But there are areas that are incredible. So it's not like I'm saying Naples is worth visiting 100%. But if you have someone that can take you around, that's the way to do it. That's what I think. And this is just one idea. Il Golfo di Napoli. Let me show you this. Napoli. Golfo. Boom. I mean, Napoli is superb. But as I showed you, there are some areas that are, yeah, you'll hear people screaming. Some areas are going to be extremely dirty and unkept, unfortunately. So it really depends. You've got to know where you're going, if you know what I mean. You should try for a sponsorship from the Sicilian Tourism Board. Yeah, I wish they were like that. Definitely had some problems with Amores, Leonidas. Yeah, I know. One took my money and kept ghosting me. Oh no. 3 years later, no helmet and no deposit back. Who's the maker of your new helmet? It looks lovely. I'm so sorry to hear that happened to you. I hate that. Is there anything can we do anything about it? I'm happy to get involved if you can help. And you know what I mean by that. Let's make a video about it. If you think that it could be worth it, we can make a video about it. Show me the name, put the name on the screen, see if it gives you at least the money back. Unless they're not in business anymore, then they don't care. I wouldn't mind though. If you need help, I'm happy to. We could do something. Try to do something about it. Is Sicily the football? Sicily, well, I guess yeah. If Italy is the boot, I guess Sicily is the football. I mean, yeah. Oh, the entire country? Halfdan has 400,000. Man, that's small, the population. Palermo alone has over 1 million inhabitants. That's crazy. Man, you must have so much space, like literally, in Iceland. I wonder how much of that is too cold to build. Well, probably for you, not. You probably have like a cold resistance, like the Nord in Skyrim. The best food always seems to be at dodgy places. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm like, I hate those restaurants that like you pay a lot of money for a little bit. Nah, I'm into like, there was this restaurant in Naples. It's in Quartieri Spagnoli, the Spanish Quarters, that's what it means. And because it's like the name of the area of Naples where you used to have mercenaries from Spain. That's why it's called like that. Anyways, there is this restaurant where you go and they are extremely rude, but it's on purpose. Like it's done on purpose and it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. So if you're someone, you need to be a little like a good sport. But so if you're too like, oh, then it's not the place for you. But if you're a good sport and you go there, they will literally treat you like rubbish. And but it's funny. It's like it's comedy, and but the food is phenomenal and the prices are very, very affordable. And like I remember we had some really good Nennella. That's what it's called. I still remember it. Do I like football? Yeah, I mean I'm not too much into it. I'll watch it, but usually out of national pride. So like if Italy's playing and it's the World Cup, I'll watch it. But European Cup, usually I don't watch it. Sam says, love the appreciation for your local areas as one of the biggest English-speaking Italian content creators, especially from the South. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's because sometimes I think people have an idea of what a country is, but really the best way is either you go and live there, because even going as a tourist gives you a completely different approach to a country. You see it as a tourist. But if you live there or you listen to the perspective of people who are from there, is when you can really fully understand how a country is, how it functions, where it fails, when it excels. I'm watching over a puppy right now. I'm gonna take him out real quick. Yeah, sure, no problem. Love, what kind of puppy? Unless she's already out. Yeah, that helmet thing is so sad. A friend of mine, Martin, historical reenactor, has helped me with video production a few times. He ordered a sword, and that he also got scammed. He never got the sword, unfortunately. And it's not. I hate it particularly. It's a horrible thing, but I really hate it when it's like for people that really saved and had a very limited budget. Then it really annoys me because it's like, oh, okay, that person can't afford another sword. How do these people sleep at night when they do this kind of stuff? I don't know. I may take you up on that kind of offer. Absolutely. I'll reach out to him again and see. Do that. Absolutely. And then if needed, we'll do a video. We'll do a video, see if that works. A good chunk is volcanoes and mountains. Oh, I see. Yeah, sure. The Icelandic government has things in place to try and not develop the natural places and leave them as is. Yeah, sure. That's nice. Some I'm sure are treasures because I've seen some pictures and goodness gracious, man. You miss Japan? Me too. Me too. My wife really wants to go, and we'll have to see. We were gonna go. We were this close to buy a ticket to Japan and spend a month there, but then we stopped because we found this house on the market, and so we had to basically pull every resource. That's when I cashed in almost, not all, but almost all of my what are they called? Stocks, and for the down payment. And of course, we couldn't buy the ticket and spend the money on top of that, like we couldn't do it, and so we didn't end up going. Um, but I own a house, and to be honest, I think that's a priority in life. But I'm hoping that at one point I'll be able to take her there, because I know she really wanted to. Needing to live somewhere to understand, to fully understand it, yes. Absolutely. Do I invest a lot in stocks? Not a lot. Again, this is not financial advice. Do not follow this because this is not financial advice. I'm not a professional. But what I do, I don't care for risk. So what I do is I do invest a small percentage of my earnings, which means that imagine that I make a certain amount of money between Patreon, YouTube, other endeavors, whatever it is. And then maybe I may take like a 5%, buy some stocks if it's a good time to buy. And then I leave them there. Just don't touch them. That's the idea. And the reason why I don't invest too much is because I want to invest in a way that if it ended up being not a good idea and I lose that money, it's fine. It's not going to be a big deal. But if in a few years that the value of those stocks go up significantly, then it might still make a difference because at that point, I invested when I bought when it was low, and then I can sell when it's high, and that's the idea. But I don't like invest like a lot and then hope, oh my gosh, I hope I don't lose it, and if I lose it, it's a catastrophe. I don't do that. No, I don't feel like anyone can do that who has a wife and hopefully eventually a kid. Like I have to think about that. But a little bit in stocks, yeah, I'll monitor it. I keep an eye to see if things are going down and get down and it's cheap. I will invest some money in it. Yeah. That's a funny one, the Bunzi show. I heard that. It's funny. Yeah. Nice. Dividends can be good too. Yeah. So yeah, I agree, Machiavelli. Investing in real estate needs a bigger budget, of course, because right now I've got one mortgage already that I have to take care of. So right now I couldn't invest on property. But if something happens, like imagine that I haven't got a clue. Twitch explodes, right? With Cypher Poet. Thank you for your support. But if your advice, but I'm saying, imagine Twitch explodes, and now I have a whole new revenue income. I wouldn't mind investing on real estate, but I would need to have like a separate, relatively decent revenue income to do that. But yeah, investing in stocks, sure. And you say investing in gold, that's a good idea too. At one point, I was considering buying some ingots and putting them in Fort Knox. You know, you can do that in America. You can literally pay a little price to just put your ingots inside Fort Knox. You can do it. Eventually, maybe. Real estate would be really nice. Can you imagine if you have enough to pay a decent down payment, buy property, and then you rent it? But because your down payment was significant, then the kind of mortgage that you pay, the kind of rent you gain outweighs the mortgage. That would be fantastic, because then it becomes an asset. Because the reality is, I'm not a financial expert, but I'm saying we often think, like, for instance, this house that I have now is not an asset. It's a liability. It becomes an asset when I stop paying for it. That's like an asset is something that gets you money. A liability is something that costs you money. That's how you need to look at it. But if you had like property and the rent is more or equals, but generally if it's a little even more than the mortgage payment, then that would be great. At least I think. But then again, I'm not a financial expert. It is an asset in that you don't freeze to death. Sure, but I meant asset in a financial sense. It is only an asset when it gives you money. Like my channel is an asset. My Twitch is an asset. My Patreon is an asset. All of these are assets because they give me an income, right? A revenue flow. And so they are assets. I agree, Nicholas, 100%. Yeah. I think the reason why I'm trying to be very methodical is not that I'm trying to say money is everything in life, but I think I'm at that point in my life when I think about what am I going to build for my kids? I want my children to be able to afford education, and because I had trouble with that back, like I did, of course, go to university, but I got 3 scholarships. I worked my ASS off to be able to even pay for it, and that's in Italy where it doesn't even cost that much. So I'm saying I do want to offer that when I'm gone, maybe I will have some property and my kids can inherit it. So I need to think about those things. It's not when you reach, I think, this stage in life, you start thinking not about yourself anymore, but you start thinking about the wife and the kids and the extended family. I mean, I send the rent to my dad every month. I take care of my dad. And that's the bare minimum that I can do. He raised me, right? And so, yeah, I'll do that. But unfortunately, we live in a society where to do that, you need money. And that's how it is, isn't it? My parents are old school. They have all their money in government bonds. Wow. Will you teach your kids Italian, Sicilian? Yes, we'll raise them bilingual. We already discussed that. But with Italian, not Sicilian. Maybe the occasional word for fun, but Italian. Italian English will be for sure. So the idea how we're planning on doing it, of course, I'm a language teacher at heart, so I mean, I know how to do it, but the idea is when you talk to mommy, you speak English. When you talk to daddy, you speak Italian, and that's how we're going to make them perfectly bilingual. That's the idea. Probably not Japanese, no, unless like maybe if a kid of mine is a teenager, they're already bilingual, and then they tell me, hey dad, I'm really into anime, can you teach me some Japanese? Then of course I'll do it. But I think I'll stick to bilingualism between Italian for tradition, for family, for heritage, and then English, as because if they're native English speakers, then they could become, basically that's great. You know why? Because imagine they don't know what to do with the future. Maybe my kid will want to become an artist. Maybe my kid will want to become an IT guy or girl, whatever, I don't care, a streamer. But imagine they don't know what to do. Well, they have a job. They can teach languages because they're bilingual. And so naturally, they have something that others may not have, just as a backup plan. If everything goes badly, well, my kid is bilingual. So maybe they could teach Italian, or they could teach English. They could move back to Italy and teach English, or they could teach Italian here. It's an idea. It's to give them something. Also Italian can be kind of adapted to other Romance. Sure, yeah, if they want to pick up Spanish, it's going to be easier. Would your kids gain automatic Italian citizenship? No, I don't think so. I don't know how it works with double citizenship, but I don't think so. It's a good idea, isn't it, Sam? Yeah. Yeah, it will work out. I have 10 years of experience with teaching languages. It will work out. Yeah, English will give them a great That's why I want them to be Americans. I want my kids to be born here in the US. I think that's good. Apoc says, man, I hate money. Yeah, it's a necessary evil, but here we are. And some people may disagree with the statement that I just made, but I think my idea, that's the system, and definitely I think it's better than what we had in prehistory where it was barter. But then again, it is a system that unfortunately rewards sometimes actions that are not moral. And so, or even the idea that you can steal money, I hate that. I hope that that can be prevented at one point. Like that somehow money is going to be connected in a way that you can trace it. So if money is being stolen from you, illegitimate, and it's illegitimate, that maybe the future society will be able to tell. So if you steal money, you can't use it. That would be a nice thing. That would be a good improvement, wouldn't it? Planning for your kids to become president. Hey, they could if they're born here. Blood magic coins. Didn't a birthright citizenship get repealed? I don't know, actually, Talca. I have no idea. No idea. I'll keep that in mind. I wouldn't mind heading out to Sicily Sunday, says Cortova. Sure. That would be fun. Did you ever get British or other citizenships? No. Or are you only an Italian citizen? I'm only an Italian citizen, but I've recently received a letter from the US government telling me that I'm now allowed to begin the process for becoming an American citizen. So that was good news when we got that in the mail. And we'll start it probably soon. It's going to take forever anyways. Teach them to be plumbers. Yeah, Super Mario. They become Pope. Yeah, sure. For sure, absolutely. I'm drinking some Starbucks espresso, by the way, non-sponsored, but Starcraft espresso. Yeah, only for true Protoss that don't have a mouth, so can't even drink it. Because Protoss are like, don't Protoss feed themselves through sunlight, like a bit. I think I remember that. So maybe not for them. Very cool. You think so? Yeah. A lot of official StarCraft drinks in South Korea, possibly. Yeah, isn't it their national sport, esport? I think it is. Oh, you like gems and then shiny guys, see Dream Heart. Yeah, I can see that. I like gems. I think what got me into gems was an old point and click game called I hate that I forget stuff. I do not remember, but anyways, it's a point and click, old school, and it was all about gems. And I remember it was really good. You know what? I have it. I have it on GOG. So I need to see it. Because this is driving me mad. Let me see. Owned games. One moment, please. It's called The Legend of Kyrandia. So I remember that one got me into gems. And then I started getting into like, because my favorite, is it a gem? I don't know, but my favorite would be a sapphire. I think they're gorgeous. Second is emeralds. They're beautiful. I agree with that, Nicholas, of course. You like gems of lesser value. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of diamonds because I like colors. Flaws make gems more pretty, if you ask me. I understand that, sure. You know, believe it or not, there is the idea that when something is imperfect, it makes it more beautiful, is a typical concept in feudal Japanese literature. It's actually a literary device. They call it mono no aware in Japanese, mono no aware. And you will find it a lot in their poetry of feudal Japan. Even Heian period, in fact, Japan. where they're like, you know, you can have a perfect night sky with a moon, full moon, but isn't it more beautiful if there are just a few clouds that only, it's not perfect anymore, but it's more beautiful. It is a literary device in feudal Japanese literature, 100%. Have you ever played Zork? No, but I heard the name. I don't know if that's where Kintsugi comes from. I wouldn't know. Yeah, Mono no Aware. That's what you call it. If you are interested in you know, exploring it a bit more, you can. I think if you Google it, yeah, there we go. The pathos of things, sensitivity to things. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's this one here. I still remember it, man, from university times. So Mono no Aware. This is here. Japanese concept to translate to sensitivity to things, appreciation of the fleeting, impermanent nature of beauty found in impermanence. And then there is also the whole situation about beauty, acknowledging the bittersweet beauty. Like it's an interesting concept. It's an interesting concept, and it's very, very old as a concept. You heard it in Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm impressed that they put it. It is in there because I remember the imperfection part. I remember it because of the, you know, I studied this at university, so I do remember. I had 3 exams of Japanese literature, and the professor went deep into it. And then there are also these elements, like it's not the same. It's not something you're gonna find on an AI overview or on a Wikipedia 3 sentences, but it's also there. It's also there. The gentle sadness. There is the sad, like when something. You always see that, by the way, even in anime. How many times in anime you got like characters that cry? There is a lot of sadness. It's very deep as a concept. Yeah. So yeah. No, never watched Frieren. No, I haven't had time to watch anything, to be honest, lately. Today I do want to watch a couple of things though. Sisters of Twilight, sure. Let's have a look. The armor. Let's see. What game is it? Warhammer, is it? Okay, let's see if this is what you're talking about. So what I see is 2 wood elves, I guess. Campaign, faction focus. Are they wearing armor? Because I don't really see much armor in here. Or maybe this. Or maybe this. Oh yeah, they do have. I'm waiting for it. This, right? The sisters. Yeah, total. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so I see. This, I imagine, is some kind of padding because it looks a bit like scales, but it looks more like padded than metal. Let's see. Assuming that this is some hard material, maybe elven, maybe. Do they even have mithril in Warhammer? It's leather, is it? I think it's leather. I mean, the looks are great. Are they wood elves? Probably. The looks are great. I like the way it looks. Protection-wise, I don't know. But one thing I appreciate is that it appears to be cut in a way that would actually work, because often in video games they make the breastplates go down to your jeans belt, which wouldn't work. Instead, this cuts at the natural waist and then has a little extension in the middle. So I think that would work. Plus, if it's leather, it probably bends. Although then again, if it needs to protect, it should be hard boiled. So then again, you still need to be careful. Perhaps I would cut it here, but I understand. Maybe give it some articulation here, because as long as you give it articulation and then it can move as you fold and bend, then it's fine. Since they do have a little bit of what appears to be articulation here, I would add a little more articulation. Maybe it's there and I can't see it because they have this, which, you know what's fun? This, what would you call it? Strip that you see around their waist is actually something the Romans did do, and it's called fascia ventralis, and the Romans did it. In fact, it reminds me, yeah, I see no helmet. They've got these half things here. I'm just assuming they're magic. I'm just gonna assume they're magical, because otherwise I'm gonna lose my mind. So I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, the spolders are nice. I love the spolders. Hers appear to be golden, so maybe it's either well, it's going to be gilded, of course, because gold would be a horrible material to make armor of because it's soft and heavy. The worst things you want for armor. So that's why whenever you see gold in armor implemented, it's either accents that don't matter from a protection perspective, or it's gilded, meaning that underneath it's actual steel. That's how gilded armor in real life works. But in this case, it could be that it's some kind of bronze, or it's simply gilded. And I like the arm protection. The fingers are exposed, but I guess they are archers because I see a lot of, I see the quivers. So I understand why they want to maintain their digits free. I don't have a problem with that setup. In fact, I kind of like that hers is the brunette has got more of a silver dark metallic hue, whereas the blonde has got the golden. Artistically, they look great. Artistically, they look really good. So when I was telling you about this thing here that she's wearing, this green cloth around her waist, it does remind me of Roman fascia ventralis. Yeah, there we go. Let me show you. So this, that you can see here, that's what it is. Now, what's interesting about this is that the reason it's not only to keep the tunic in place, it acts as their pockets, because the Romans didn't have pockets. But you could easily put some money in here, maybe a tool, a little knife, whatever, some walnuts if you were hungry later. So yeah, it functioned as it's not just to keep things in place, but it also functions as their pocket, which I always thought, a sash, thank you, Vain Pride. And that's what it is. And I actually tend to wear one under my armor because it helps creating pressure. And then when you put your cingulum, like the military belt, which then pushes, it helps with the weight distribution of the armor. Yeah, things don't really fall out too much, Jersey girl. I tested it. If it's nice and tight and you do it right, it's not bad. It's actually not bad. Due to the way you fold it, it kind of works. So it's ingenious. Hey Sledge, thank you Makariv for supporting the stream. If you're looking for a good historical drama set in medieval Europe, I recommend Rise of the Raven. I think it's on Netflix. Yeah, I'll look for it. Thank you for the suggestion. I appreciate that. Yes, everyone is saying sash, a sash, a sash. I couldn't remember the word, guys, in English. A sash. There you go. Pocket technology was still not quite there yet. Yeah, also probably for a cultural thing. I mean, at the end of the day. But yeah, Sisters of Twilight. That was cool. Appreciated that. I wonder if in iconography you can see it, but sometimes you can. Sometimes, yeah, here you can see that there is something underneath now given. Oftentimes the cingulum is represented in a smaller version, that's a artistic device. But yeah, there is definitely something soft and fabric underneath it. And it's because do remember that fascia ventralis together with cingulum could be worn where you were not when you were a soldier, but you were not in armor, as we can see in this image here. And this was done so that, because the tunic is the same as any other Roman, any other person would be wearing a tunic like this. In fact, this tunic has sleeves. One of the most common ones was sleeveless. Regardless, the fact that you're wearing the cingulum would signify the fact that you belong to the military. So that anyone, even if you're not wearing armor, be like, oh, that's a soldier. Right there, that's a soldier. Salve, HeHaven93. Question, how long did it take for the Roman Empire to perfect their armor? Ooh, it took a freaking millennium, I guess. It took a long time. But they always copied and improved. And at the end of the day, look at this beautiful fascia ventralis here on the blue. This is gorgeous. I love the combination of blue and brass. I think it's a wonderful combination. But yeah, no, it took definitely some time. And do remember that a lot of the armor the Romans have, some are their own invention, like Lorica segmentata, it's their own invention. But mail, which was by far the most commonly used type of armor in the Roman Empire and the Roman Republic, which you probably know as Lorica hamata, because hamus is like the ring, right? That's where it takes the name from. And Lorica is any type of armor. But the reality is that most likely they didn't call it that. And it's very likely that they either just called it armor, because that's how common it was. So you could just refer to it as armor. Or if they really wanted to be specific, at least we have 2 or 3 examples in literature where they refer to it as Gallica, because they copied it from the Gauls. So it's a Celtic invention. Then the Romans applied and then improved, because you know that they add the little spalders reinforcements, because probably the shoulder was, and the traps was an area where they would get hit a lot, so they wanted to double the protection there, and things evolved. It's more of a late Republican addition. But yeah, was Roman mail butted mail? Doubt it would be riveted. It was riveted. Most of it is riveted. In fact, I think every Roman mail we have in museums is either fully rivet or half rivet, half solid. Solid rings and then interconnected with a rivet. Yeah, it was riveted. Totally. In fact, I'm not aware of butted mail in a museum context connected to classical antiquity. It is fascinating, yeah. It is very likely also that a lot of the early medieval mail was repurposed Roman mail that they just extended. Not all of it, but it's likely that some of it definitely was. If it was kept in good condition, a lot of it must have rusted away, although the technology still remained, and then they improved in it. They improved it. Was butted made possible with ancient technology? Yeah. In fact, butted mail sometimes is found in the as Eastern board. So like Japanese mail, you find both. You have riveted in Japan, but you also have butted. It's just that oftentimes butted mail in Japan is strengthened because it's sewn onto silk. And so that way it gains some extra strength. But yeah, butted, you can always make butted mail. Particularly if the metal is iron or bronze, because bronze mail existed too, you can make butted. It's just that and again, don't quote me on this, but I can't think of a single, I've looked at quite a few museum pieces. I can't think of a single museum piece that is butted, but I could be wrong. Maybe I just don't remember it. Thank you, Evil Black, for supporting the stream. Very generous of you. You're also talking to Sam. Among the many maxims on Lord Naoshige's wall, one was, matters of small importance should be treated very seriously, and matters little commented. Matters of great importance should be treated lightly. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm trying to see. Yeah, there we go. Like, look at this. For instance, some of this is medieval, it's not just Roman, but if you click, yeah, this is Roman. Roman mail from carling work. You can see the rivets. Look at this. And some of these are solid. So this one is butted. Look, it's a mix. But maybe the butted ones have been added. I don't even know if these are original because they don't look original. Everything that I see original here, rivet, 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 rivet. Look at this, fully riveted. Fantastic. I'm trying to see if some of these are solid. I think this one is solid. This one is solid. So some are solid, some are riveted. Fascinating stuff, isn't it? Yeah, I think the butted have been added just to maybe complete the sleeve or set, whatever it is. Yeah. This one is more of a medieval one, once again. Rivets all over the place, because really riveted mail, I think you all know that riveted mail is superior and more resistant. Roman mail, and once again rivets. Look at that, rivets everywhere. We are talking 10 times stronger than butted. 10 times. Like, it's not a small difference. That's why there are so many videos on YouTube that are like, look, ha ha ha, so stupid. I'm using a butter knife and I'm going through buttered mail. And I'm like, yeah, try that on riveted. It's 10 times stronger. Like, whatever you're doing now tells us nothing about the resistance of actual, real military gear, which is what this is. So that's what I mean. Like, every time I personally, every time I looked, it's like always rivets. I always see the freaking rivets, you see? And so, but again, it doesn't mean that it definitely didn't exist. I didn't go that deep. But for what I've seen so far, museum-wise, it's always riveted and sometimes half rivet, half solid. It is fascinating though. I mean, the Romans knew what they were doing. Good day, Muppet Legetu. Too bad my wallet doesn't agree. Yeah, I understand that. One of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite books there, Hagakure by Yamamoto Tsunetomo. Yeah, cool. Hagakure. It rings the bell. I must have read it a long time ago. What was your stance on the historicity and effectiveness of scale mail? Oh, you mean like scale armor? I wouldn't call it scale mail. And yeah, scale is historical. And it's one of my favorite, in fact. From a visual perspective, for me, scale is gorgeous. You just have to be careful a little bit because sometimes is like there are some fakes around. Sometimes there are some fakes. Yeah, there we go. I think that one is a fake. Let me see. So I think this one is a fake, if I'm not wrong. But yes, scale. This one is. I think this one is legit. Scale is gorgeous. Mongolian lamellar is also wonderful. 100%. Yeah, this looks bad. Hey, it's Scalagram trying to stab his wife. No, but yeah, scale was a wonderful, and as they say, scale is used in medieval art. You see it, you find it. The other night we did a live stream where we were looking at iconography representing scale in medieval applications, including the late Middle Ages. I love scale. I think it's beautiful. Wow, look at that. There was a time that I spent, I'm not going to tell you how much, but I spent quite a bit of time into looking at the different types of holes on scales and lamellae for both scale and lamellar armor. And it was intriguing, but man, that's a topic that will go deep. That's what I mean. Persian scale. Oh my gosh. Man, this is armor prawn. Yes, I have. I've read some of Marcus Aurelius' meditation. Yeah, of course. Wait, Skalagrim is married. I say his wife. Maybe they're not married. It's just that they've been together, I think, forever. So to me, it's like his girl, I guess, his woman, however you want to say it. No, maybe they're not married. I don't know. No idea. No idea, my friends. We often go, every time we go to New York, we go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I love that. And actually it was kind of fun because last time we went, I actually ran into one of the people that were kind of working there. So they were like taking people around, was a subscriber to the channel. So he like came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm a noble one." And I'm like, "Seriously?" And he was like assigned to the Egyptian department. Then they have, when you enter, you go right, it's ancient Egypt. You go left, is ancient Greece. And then you turn around, walk around and get to the medieval part. And we had some good chat about armor. It was fun, yeah. It was fun. Took a picture together. It was cool. I wonder if the golden elites in Halo are the gilded elites. Probably. Because, I mean, gold would be heavy. Not sure what you mean by common law marriage. I don't know. Thank you, the unseen Telvani, for becoming a member. And I love that you've got Morrowind. A man of culture, I see. Or a woman of culture, I don't know. But a person of culture. Definitely a person of culture. Hell yeah, yeah, let's go. So good to have you join the inner circle, my friend. A member of House Telvanni. Skyrim better. I haven't played The Elder Scrolls 3. For me, Oblivion is the best one. But Daggerfall is a close second. Daggerfall blew my mind, and I didn't play it back in the day. I started with Morrowind. Good game. You're playing Oblivion as we speak, Goatee. That's so good. Are you playing the remaster or the original? I'm a Morrowind fan through and through, says Cortova. That's very cool. Yeah, Daggerfall. There is something about Daggerfall. Maybe it's also the fact that I love those type of textures, old school textures. In fact, I tried playing the old school one. Next, I will be playing. I'll probably stream it one of these nights, but I'll be playing the new version, the Unity version. But I'm still not gonna touch the textures. I want it to look that way. I don't want to improve the graphics on games like that. I'll improve quality of life. Absolutely, I'm all for it. But don't touch the graphics. If it's a game like Dragon's Dogma, which I love, since we are already in the period of Xbox 360, so the graphics are beautiful, and then you tell me we can add reflections or more textures or like 4K textures, I mean, then I'm okay improving the graphics at that point. But when we're talking like really old school, that's why I never touch Valheim. The only thing I did, because I love the textures the way they are, the only mod that I constant I cannot play without is first person mod for Valheim, because I enjoy first person. It makes it more immersive for me. The only times in which I remove it, I still use it when I hunt, but I remove it when I'm doing like when I'm fighting, because third person is kind of easier to fight for the dodging. Otherwise the trolls annihilate me. But if I'm exploring or I'm just walking around or I'm cooking or I'm making ingots in Valheim, first person. Metatron, some US states automatically marry you without a wedding. Really? If you live together for too long? Oh, I didn't know that. But then again, if this was in connection with Skylargrim lives in Canada, so I don't know how the law is there. They allow the woman to sue for divorce when you break up. Oh, goodness gracious. Seriously. You love 360 graphics? Me too, Jack. I think the only thing, because 360 was a very capable machine, it was fantastic. Compared to now, the only thing that I would feel like I'm missing a bit is the frame rate on some games. Like there are some games on Xbox 360 that have like a 30 FPS, which is playable. But if you get used to 60 plus, then it becomes, going back to 30 is a little harsh, if you know what I mean. A lot of farmers complain about someone their son was just living with, so gets hit by a bus and then is still half the farm. Oh, goodness gracious, oh no. In Canada, they have common law marriage. Okay, good to know, Vote Shall. I didn't know. I see. Well, personally, I mean, if it's the person of your life, you would want that. Like I have life insurance. I have everything to make sure that, and that's what I do. Like I work a lot because I want to make sure that my wife will be provided, right? When it's the person of your life, you have to do that. Like you want to. It's not even you have to. You want to do that. You want to do that. So at that point, I guess if two people are not married but you've been together for 20 years, it's like it's your wife at that point. It's your husband. I mean, even if you do, we can go into the religious aspect of it, but it's different. But I'm saying like the commitment is not a little adventure at that point, if you know what I mean. Hey Baron, so good to see you. How you doing? Good to see you, man. Mhm. 360 over PS3 and PS4 over Xbox One. You know, Jack, interestingly enough, that's exactly how I felt. I was a 360 through and through. I didn't even care. The only time when I actually bought a PS3 was when I moved to Japan, because every other Japanese had a PS3. So that way, with my friends, we could exchange games. That's it. But yeah, 360, 100%. But when it came to the next generation console, I actually got a PS4 rather than an Xbox One. I do own an Xbox One now because I'm collecting consoles, so I basically have one of everything for collection purposes, and I do play with it a little bit. At the end of the day, the One and the Series X, they're pretty much the same thing. They look the same, exception for the power, of course. But there is more of a cosmetic difference and also a difference in the way the menus feel between PS3 and PS4 than there is between one X. I hate the names, and one Series X, not one X. Oh, goodness gracious, you know what I mean. I can't believe that someone actually was paid and a board of directors within the marketing department said yes to Xbox 360 for the second one, Xbox One for the third, Xbox One X for the mid-gen, Xbox Series X for the new one, Xbox Series S. It's like, what? Man, the 90s and the early 2000s had the best names. Saturn, Genesis, Dreamcast. These are names. How does one get their hands on the Metatron ring? Thank you so much, Ban. There is a link in every video of mine, including these live streams. If you check the description, there is always a link, and it's called Get My Ring. So and then you can choose silver, bronze, gold, 2 types of gold, and platinum. In fact, we even I mean, I think we sold a few gold rings, believe it or not, over the years. Did we ever sell a platinum ring? I don't know. I mean, if someone buys the platinum one, they need to give me their names. I got to put them somewhere because, I mean, it's there. We offer it, I guess, because I'm a maniac for metals. That's why we offer all of these metals. But I own a bronze and a silver. I don't own a gold one. So there are noble ones that own a version of the ring that is better than the one that I have. But yeah, maybe one day. It's yeah. I hope that answers your question. I'll put the link here in the chat for you, so as to make it easier for you to check it if you want to have a look at it, and then you make your mind if you want to buy it, if you don't want to buy it, whatever you like. Let me see if I can find it easily. Yes, I can. I found it. So that's the ring, produced by me and Viking Jewelry. I designed the whole thing, and then they took care of the shipment, customer service, and actual physical production. But I designed the entire thing from scratch, and I think it's a good ring. I think it's a good ring. If I get rich, I will definitely buy platinum ring. You're great, Jersey girl. Thank you. I hope you win the lottery. You get a nice scratch and win, and then you're sorted for the rest of your life, and then you get the ring. Appreciate that. Can I have one made of uranium, please? Man, could you imagine? But it needs to be not like real uranium. I want it to look like in The Simpsons when they glow green. I love the way it looks. Like sometimes he's driving home, Homer, and then he has a radioactive green thing in his shirt, and he just throws it out the window. What a guy! I'll put the link on Twitch as well if you guys want to check it out. You wish you had taken better care of your Dreamcast. Mine is still over there, connected to a CRT, fully functional. PS3 had some good exclusive. You're right, Jack. Yeah. Ooh, Baron, a jade one. I'll ask them if they can do it. I don't know if they have access to that. I know that their bronze is the Viking Jewelry. The bronze that we use for the ring is produced in Spain. If I remember correctly. I do not know if they have access to jade, but man, could you imagine a green? Ooh, that would be nice. I'll ask them. Hey, if they can do it, I'll make sure we mention you for the idea. How about that? Like, thanks to Baron for the idea. If we manage to do it and it's actually doable, we'll mention you, my friend. Credit where credit is due. If they know, you know who to hook up. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You always sell the console, so I have to spend less for the new ones. I understand that, Mechavarim. And a lot of the consoles I have, I repurchased after for collection purpose, to be honest. Some are old school that I just kept, but there are a few that I was like I never had a Saturn back then, so I bought one. And then I did an unboxing on my gaming channel, so I get to write it off. My last console, says Math79, was PS2. Yeah, I still have a function in PS2 as well. What about the Ring of Iron? Iron probably will be a problem, believe it or not, to find. Wrought iron is difficult. Pure iron is actually harder to find. But steel would probably be a possibility. I just don't know if they Viking jewelry would be interested in doing a steel tier. I'm not sure. Osmium ring, probably not. APOC. Currently doing a D&D writing session while watching you and eating cheese. That's great. The character I'm writing is inspired by Russian, Romani people and is a bard. That's very cool, Brandon. It sounds very original. I like that. Aluminium or titanium would be cool. A titanium tier, I actually thought about it. I think maybe because when we first launched the ring, it did really well in sales. And then the sales slowed down a lot. Maybe what we need is to add a new tier. So whether we have something new to present to the public, maybe that could be a good idea. I'll have to ask for a possibility of a titanium tier because it would make it very, very light, among other things. What cheese does your wife bring you, and what is your favorite? My wife always brings me one of the Baby Bells, but we have 3 because my favorite is the one that has a black cover. You know that normally has a red cover, and I don't even know what kind of cheese it is, but the black one is white cheddar. That's what that is, and it's pretty good. Although the other day she brought me the teal one, the teal package. I feel like I'm working for Baby Bell right now. Sponsored by Baby Bell, the Metatron. Yeah, Baby Bell, that's what they're called. Anyways, sponsored by Baby Bell. The Roman Empire sponsored by Baby Bell. And the teal packaging is Montjac cheese. A Romani cleric for a D&D campaign. Very cool. I like clerics. They're fun to play. I'm more of a paladin guy, but I do like clerics. Yeah, there is a yeah, there should be a platinum. Let me check. Unless they removed it, I don't know. If they removed it, they didn't tell me, but let me see. All right, let me check it very, very quickly. So that's the ring. That's me being a Muppet. And so that's the silver one. This is the bronze tier. What else have we got? Let me see. Yeah, this is definitely bronze. This is gold. This is the gold one. And the gold is beautiful. This is silver. They don't have pictures, but let me see if we still offer it. Oh, we don't, apparently. I'll have to ask them why they discontinued the platinum. I'll ask them to re-enter it. So for now, we only have silver, silver, bronze, gold, gold. So that's what we offer. I didn't even know. And it's my ring. That's me, all right. I'm not very good when it comes to, you know, marketing and that kind of stuff, but yeah, look at the gold one. And you know this words in Latin that I chose, it's custos veritatis, and if you notice, it even marks the phonemic vowel length. I told them you have to mark the long vowels, the o and the a. So custos means guardian, and veritatis means truth. So it's guardian of truth in Latin. And then we chose this shield because it's my favorite type of shield. We found it in medieval iconography to justify it. And then the wings represent the Metatron for the channel. And that's the ring. I think it looks cool. This is the one that I'm wearing right now, the bronze one. I have it here. This is what the bronze one looks. So it's a cool one. It's a cool one. I mean, I'm not trying to advertise my stuff, but I'm very proud of it because it's cool. I think it looks good. Maybe it was a bit too pricey for people. It's also possible the platinum right now is not available. I'll have to ask them, like, as a material, because sometimes they collaborate with a lot of... This is a network we're talking about. Thank you, The Unseen, for the support. I appreciate that. You became a member and you also a super chat. That's very generous of you. I heard a wild theory about Alexander the Great tomb and King Tutankhamun, I think it is, tomb. Have you heard this one? It's unlikely, but a crazy read either way. So the one about Alexander the Great, I think you are referencing to the idea that Alexander the Great's corpse is found in St. Mark in Venice. Is that what you're talking about? If it is, I have a dedicated video to it on the channel. I covered it. Jonathan Pollock, how about a nitinol? Yeah. It's a titanium nickel alloy. Well, I mean, it's not up to me. We could do kryptonite if it's up to me. But I mean, it's something that we need to see what sort of availability we have. Yeah, custodian is etymologically into custos. Absolutely. Absolutely. Metatron would be a paladin. Yeah, that's what I like. Paladins. But then again, unless I play an elf, because usually I'm an elf. I like elves. I mean, you could be technically an elven paladin. I don't think the game prohibits you from doing that. Custodian as well, sure. Oh, it's not that one. Yeah, feel free. Maybe give me the title of of an article or a post, and then I'll have a look into it. Would Superman wear my ring? Probably not. Probably not. You can crush nitinol, then apply heat to make it return to shape. That is fascinating, Jonathan. Play a paladin elf. Yeah, you're right, Nicholas. That's the way. There's always a solution, isn't there? Anyways, I'm gonna leave you with the chair for a second because I need a drink. It's time for a lemonade because we need the aid of lemons. So I'll leave you with the chair for 2 minutes. I hope you're not rude to the chair. Lemonade, zero sugar. Welcome. So what did I miss? Let me see. Oh no, you're being rude to the chair. Oh no, the Cheratron. Hey Delpha Lion 34, good to have you here. So what I'm gonna do now, since we are chilling, and thank you everyone for becoming members, by the way. Today we got a few members. I really appreciate that. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. Oh, thank you for tweeting the thread. Yeah, I'll check it out. It's easier over there, yeah, for sure. Good idea. Bring back Chair Senpai. Yeah. Are you the historian from YouTube? Didn't know you streamed. Oh yeah, absolutely. Def Callion. I am live from Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, so I stream 20 times a month at least. And oftentimes I will stream at night for me, so Central Standard around like 11:30-ish. Even midnight sometimes, but that's just for gaming. So yeah, like I've been streaming a lot. Good to have you here. MKRQ, hello. So what are your plans for tonight, guys? What you gonna do? Talking about games. You told me you wanted me to check out I almost forgot, GTA 6. Let's have a look at that. GTA 6 trailer. How long is it? 2 minutes and 47. Is that no, that's not it. Is that it? Trailer 2, trailer 1 is 1 minute 30. Yeah, let's have a look, Apoc. Absolutely. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'll watch trailer 1 and then trailer 2. Let's go. GTA 6, how long? 257 million views. Man, that's like, that's insane. 257 million views. Well, let's go. What have we got? Let me make myself a little smaller. This is GTA 6 we're talking about. Pretty cool, but I didn't see anything. So I hope that they put a little gameplay, like a little. Yeah, the cars look great, but I can't judge the graphics if it's like a movie thing, I suppose. Let's see. It's all cinematics, exactly. Oh, it's all cinematics. Man, I wish. Anyways, let's have a look at trailer 2, and I hope that I watch this, because I noticed there was a little bit of sexualization, so I hope the Twitch doesn't have a problem with it. Do you guys know? These are the actual graphics, you say, APOC? I mean, if those are the actual graphics, that's insane. It's just that I'll believe it when I see it, if you know what I mean. There is so much emphasis on trust and being together that you already know someone is going to get betrayed in the game. Yeah. They claim it is in-game PS5 and cinematics. I see. So if that's PS5, then I'm just worried that what they're going to do is that they're going to show you amazing graphics, but then in-game you need to pick between performance and resolution, and which means you have to pick performance, because resolution is going to be, yeah, it's 4K 20 frames per second like they did for Demon Souls remake, which is unplayable in resolution mode. You have to play the other mode, which is 1080p. So there is that. Someone is going to die for sure in that game. Well, yes. Are we sure they're not going to do a Ubisoft and downgrade? Yeah, that's what I mean. You can don't pre-order, guys. That's all I'm saying. Just don't pre-order. Be excited, hyped, whatever you want. Just don't pre-order. Let's see the second one. Let's see the second one. It's a little longer. Just let me do a very quick thing to make sure we don't have anything I need to worry about for streaming purposes. Probably not. Okay. Well, let's have a look. Crocodiles were great, though. I liked the crocodiles. That was a nice touch. Twitch doesn't have a problem so long as it's not focused on. But, of course, rules are on. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. But let's try. May contain content inappropriate for children. Anyone watching here, keep that in mind. Alright, so the town looks great.
What you doing up there?
I'm just fixing some leaks.
Seriously, dude, you got some time on your hands. I got some properties with paying tenants.
Oh, that's why you came by?
Just go get me my checks.
See you, Brian. Love you, Jason.
Actually, let me read this. Thank you, Charlie Rogers, for the support. Rockstar said the second trailer is part cinematic and gameplay running on a base PS5. All right, let's see. I mean, if this looks cinematic to me, but if this is what it's going to look like in first person while you drive, it's going to blow my mind.
I'm here for Lucia Caminos. She's supposed to be getting out.
What's your name?
Jason Duval.
I seen you here before.
You might have.
Okay. So there is a story, I guess, with an inmate. I see.
Hey.
Hey.
Former inmate.
Hands above your head, now!
Right.
The new beginnings.
New beginnings, guys. Man, look at that water.
Trust me, this place is just the start for us.
Ring the bell! Shop for me!
The only thing that matters is who you know and what you got.
Gonna do this? We're doing it right.
Yo, D, this full of fat? And they got your name, address, they got everything.
Us cops, we gotta protect each other.
Like,
You and me, bro. We got this.
We got it.
Oh.
say Vice City, baby! Vice City!
So they're saying Vice City. Is it set in Vice City like the original Vice City? You remember that? That was a great GTA, by the way. Right? You really want a good flight simulator setup. True. I actually think this is in-game rendering. That's impressive if it is.
Come to
Of course, the
Field's
club.
Nation today. We got more guns than a law allowed.
Yeah, that's it. Second Amendment right there.
Hey.
Hey, if you got friends, can you hook me up, please?
You know, looking good so far. I just hope that they have, like they did in the, there was one of the GTAs, I don't remember if it was 4 or 5, they had a whole section with like Italian Americans and Sicilian Americans and the restaurant. You go into the Italian restaurant, there are the Sicilians and the mafia. I remember I loved that. So I hope that there is some Italian representation in this one, hopefully. Because up to this point, I saw a lot of Hispanic, I saw a lot of black people, I saw a couple of white guys, I think I saw that. I hope we get some Sicilians though. Because come on, Sicilians are just perfect. They're just perfect for a GTA setting. Don't you think so? With like the mafia, it's great. We don't need this right now. Was it Liberty City? Yeah, I think it was in Liberty City. There is an Italian presence in Florida. I would imagine so. I mean, we are everywhere. San Andreas and Las Venturas, Arc, Metatron, Gemini. Hello, hey there, docent. Biased, of course I'm biased. But come on, Sicilians are great. Like in the American context, Sicilians are great for a story about gangsters. Give me a break. But I am looking forward to Sicily, the new mafia old country set in Sicily. That's gonna be incredible. I'm gonna stream the whole game. I do see that Seymour Fields. Yeah, I know that happens, but you know, as long as they don't do anything to exclude us, even if they put other people and there is like representation for everyone, I don't care. But if they remove system like they did I only had a problem with Need for Speed. There was one of the Need for Speed, I talked about this in stream yesterday, that yeah, I'm fine, of course, if the setting allows it, and you've got some African Americans, some Africans, a couple of Asians, so like I don't have a problem with that, not at all. But there was a Need for Speed that systematically removed every single white person from the entire game, even though it was set in America. It made no sense, and you couldn't even make your character white. That's the only time when I'm gonna be like, no, I don't like that. But unless you set it in freaking, like if you set a game in Congo, then fine. I don't have a problem with that. So it really depends, you know. It really depends what you do. But so far, looking fine. So yeah, a lot of Jersey people are Italian and Sicilians. Yeah, I heard that, Jersey girl. In fact, every time my wife and I go to New York, Little Italy is a must. And Chinatown. We go to both because I have a good time with the Chinese. Man, every time I go in there and I start like, 你好,你好,我会讲一些普通话,你是中国人吗? Like I always speak to the Chinese. I freaking love it. But yeah, with Little Italy, man, it's like it's a must visit every time we go to New York. Yeah. Yeah, true. The main characters look good. Main guy looks good. My Sicilian heritage is sadly also tied to mafia through my... I understand that, but you know, as long as you're a good person, it's not your fault. If someone in your line, in your family line, was linked to that, it's not you. So I wouldn't worry about it. There are a million things that are great about a Sicilian heritage, so doesn't really matter. Praetoria, thank you for the support. Hey Metatron, have you played The Forgotten City? It's the creators of Elder Scrolls 1. The Scrolls, I believe. Yeah, no, I never played it. Forgotten City sounds good. It sounds fun. I'll have to look it up. Anyways, I don't know, the trailers so far, it looks, I mean, if really that is the graphical engine, it's incredible. I don't even know how they're gonna pull that one off on a base PS5. Is it gonna come out on Series X and Steam at the same time? Computer or what? I doubt this is an exclusive. I mean, how much money would you have to pay Rockstar to get exclusive? Like for Sony, you'd have to give them like a piece of Tokyo. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be out on PS5 and Xbox Series first. I see. I wonder how they're going to squeeze that out of base. Probably base, you're going to be limited to like 1080p resolution and probably not a great frame rate. And then if you have the more powerful version, then the pros, maybe the pros is when you're going to shine a bit more. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, she was a daughter of a Don. I see, Jersey. Yeah. 40, I absolutely understand that. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm sure she's probably seen a thing or two. I think they'll do the same thing with GTA 5, where they'll announce PC around half a year after release. Probably APOC. I mean, to be honest, GTA 5 was great. Right? Yeah, it's always been first on consoles. You're right, Docent. Yeah. GTA 5 already graphically was great. In fact, I was so happy when they added the first-person perspective in GTA 5, the view, because I think that game it was perfect for it. I don't know why they didn't at launch. Even GTA 4, I played it modded with first-person the split second it came out on PC. McEverin, yeah, they're gonna release it to every console. I can't wait to see the Switch version, which is gonna be like no shadows, no water, no skin on people, no walls, no skybox. Well, maybe the skybox, but 2D. Well, I mean skybox, yeah. Maybe like 800 by 600 for the skybox. But then again, there's Switch 2, right? Now, so maybe they can, maybe for the Switch 2. Although then again, it's still gonna be underpowered compared to next gen consoles anyways, because it's still a portable device at heart. But hey, we'll see what they do. Good evening, Chanzin 9 seconds, Chanzik. Red Dead 2 was awesome in first person. I didn't even know you could play it in first person. Is that a mod? Man, everyone is reacting to GTA 6. Michael Noe also reacts to GTA 6. Isn't he like a political guy? I'm just seeing this now here. Look. Why is he reacting to GTA 6? Well, then again, people could say it about me. Isn't he the history guy? Why is he reacting? But then again, I do have a gaming channel. Well, I guess it's the views, right? Because it's a massive thing. I'm surprised some ordinary gamers didn't react to it. I'm sure they will. Of course, Penguin. 3 days ago, obviously. We'll have to see. I'm actually kind of curious to see how what these guys think. You're not thrilled for Switch 2? No, I am. We ordered one. We pre-ordered one with my wife, and then if we really, really, really like it, and we're getting close to tax season, we might order another one to write it off. And then we both have our own. But right now, as a family, we're just gonna have a family Switch 2. And then if she really gets into a game, she can play that. And then if I really get into a game, then maybe I can have it up here. That's the idea. But yeah. Keep in mind that an entire generation has passed between GTA 5 and GTA 6. It's true, yeah. How long did it take them? It really took them forever, didn't it? GTA 6. Gosh, we got a new Pope. And they still have to release it. This is just a trailer. Is it possible that by the time they release it, humanity will have already expanded on Mars with the new Martian colony called X, probably, if I'm gonna have to guess the name, considering who's in charge. They're gonna call it X. Xberg. How far in advance do they decide the Pope? Well, you see, Light 7, it's a difficult thing to answer because we don't really know the inner machinations of the Vatican when it comes to this. In the sense that, sure, in theory, the Pope, you know who the cardinals are, you get some favorites, and then you do the conclave, and during the conclave is in the Vatican, that's when they, in theory, decide the Pope. Now, how long have they been thinking about this? We don't know. Some people are even considering the possibility that Pope Francis was in fact nominating some cardinals specifically because he was starting to kind of move certain pieces in place. We don't know about the inner politics of the Vatican. So it is possible that this is something that they plan ahead of time, which will also explain why they were this fast this time. Yeah, of course, he is elected after the one dies, but I'm saying there might be some inner preparation that we are not aware of and we're not told about when it comes to who the cardinals are. Because even though technically you don't have to be a cardinal to become the Pope when it comes to canon Vatican law, as long as you're a Catholic and a bishop, you can become the Pope. I don't even know if you could become technically, theoretically, the Pope without being a bishop. I don't know. I think the last time I read, I think you have to be a bishop. But even if it wasn't the case, the reality is it's always chosen from the cardinals. It's just what happens, even though it's not written in doctrinal law. And so if you choose who the cardinals are, and then maybe you start promoting people as cardinals because they think in a similar way to you, there is a lot of politics involved in the election of the Pope, because the Pope is not just the head of the church, he's also a monarch and the head of the Vatican state, which does have its own diplomacy. Yeah, that's what I think, Chanzig, exactly. Starting things before the scenes, yeah. It's the same with Elder Scrolls 6. Oh yeah, they're probably going to sell 3 more Skyrim editions before it finally comes out. Man, Elder Scrolls 6, I really hope they don't put politics. I really hope they don't inject a lot of politics in these games. I really do. I just hope it's just a video game. I really do. So that's what I'm a little afraid when it comes to Elder Scrolls 6. If it's a tiny little bit, it's not a big deal. I'll mod it out. I'll mod it off. But I just hope we don't have another Dragon Age Veilguard. I'll be honest with you. And I'm just being honest with you. I'm not being hateful. I don't hate anyone. Live your life however you see fit. Consenting adults and whatnot. However, it's a game. I just hope the games don't become... I hate it when games become unrecognizable and denaturalized. And I think that this is really it's not an extreme take. It's a take of being sensical when it comes to these things. And it does come down to writing as well, Baron. You're absolutely right. Skyrim is very political. There is a whole civil war. Yeah, I know, but it's politics inside the game. It's different. Yeah, I know. You get the Imperials and you got the Rebels. But it's not like... Could you imagine if Skyrim was pushing... Just to give you the opposite idea, could you imagine if Skyrim was like... it's a fight between the Republic and democracy, and the Empire are the Republicans and the Rebels are the Democrats, and then you start seeing you've got like the Democrats are led, since the game adds vampires, right? The Democrats are led by Count Bite Them, and then the Republic, the Imperials are trying to build a wall to keep the immigrants. Like, could you imagine that? Like, it would be unplayable. It would be unplayable. Thank you, Solid, for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Man, we have a lot of fun here. A lot of fun. It is fantasy politics. Yeah, it's politics within its own. I mean, Final Fantasy Tactics is one of my favorite games ever. That game is so political that it's insane. And it's beautiful. But it's not divisive. It is not divisive. Divisive. Exactly, Jersey Girl. Precisely, yeah. Yeah. Convenience and logistics, yeah, Light 7, yep. Anyways, American Pope, guys. American Pope. Not only it's different, exactly, Solid, not only it's different to have politics within game that are different from real life politics, but it's also the idea of using the video game as a medium to inject your positions. That's when I'm starting to have a problem, because it feels like I'm being manipulated. You won't change my mind, but the younger generation, that's when it gets to a point when I'm like, what are you trying to tell me here? Like, what are you trying to inject in my head? And that's the part where it becomes disingenuous at that point. And the media has always been used for these kind of stuff. It's just that video games have become a multi-billion industry now. And yeah, and so can you imagine a new Heroes of Might and Magic, and it's all about modern politics? It's like, it's a form of, the good thing, and that's one thing I say oftentimes, one thing I love about video games, board games, role-playing games, is that they were a way, they've always been a way, and I've gone through all of this in the 80s and 90s, I was there. They've always been a great way for people coming from different backgrounds, whether it be ethnically, politically, or religiously, to get together and find something that could unite. Because I played Warhammer with people with completely different political ideas to mine, religious ideas, and anything completely. And we loved it, because you play as Dark Elves, I play as High Elves. In that moment, it doesn't matter, because the hobby is the uniting part. Then if we end up talking about politics, we might disagree. But in that moment, the hobby is something that connects us. But now politics is injecting the hobbies, and so they divide, because politics is divisive by its very nature. It's designed, and it's been like that. Look at ancient Rome. If you look at Roman emperors, they belong to different factions. Many people don't think that. They think they're all Romans. No, you've got the populists, you've got the royalists. It's always been like that. Politics is designed to set people aside and get them fight against each other for the benefit of the few. And so when you add that to hobbies, then hobbies are denaturalized because now they become divisive. And that's the thing that I don't like. If it's minor things, I don't have a problem. As you see, I see in a new video game, and then there is like, okay, the protagonist is black. I don't have a problem with that. If you twist the history though, because you have to delete whiteness, then I'm gonna have a problem with it. So you see, it's really case by case. Why are you doing this? Is it written this way because it's written well, or is it written this way because you're trying to push a message? And then it becomes something that I have to question, and I shouldn't need to question it because it doesn't belong. Sub-Zero is better than Scorpion. I agree, TC, 100%. You're absolutely right, Elmin. You're absolutely right. Chanzik says, I feel so. That's wonderful. You say, I feel sorry for people that have politics run their daily lives. Oh, yeah, my gosh, that would be toxic. Like, it would be poison. I only watch a little bit. Like, at night, if I see there is like a freaking... I remember I once watched, like, this debate between Destiny and Ben Shapiro. I got a little popcorn. I was doing something else. I don't know if I was painting miniatures. They were speaking ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, and I was like, that's entertaining. I watched it for like 15, 20 minutes, and then I switched to something else. That's how I watch politics. But yeah, no, I would never want to become a political commentator. I'll just share my mind on topics whenever I think it fits what we're talking about, and then I revert back to Guile and Sonic Boom. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. So that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be, my friends. Enemies elves? I'm an elf supremacist. So, wrong platform, my friend. Oh yeah, the puppy. Jersey says, sorry, got to take the puppy out. Yeah, you'll have to tell me what puppy is. It's just that I ask you that when you're out. So we never know. Jersey goes puppy. And we need to know that. That's what's important. That's what we want to know. Yeah. Sonic Boom, says Legato. Yeah, Sonic Boom. But thank you again, Solid, for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. We're getting like new members every live stream. So that really helps. Really appreciate that. Saint Nicholas says, what is your opinion on if the franchise is created as intended to have reflections on IRL in real life politics? As long as you make it clear, then I don't have a problem with it. So, because my very problem is when they take something and change it completely and now it's unrecognizable and I was a fan. That's my problem. If you want to make a game to specifically speak about a political issue, you can do it. Make it clear so people know and they can buy it. I probably won't unless it's written incredibly well. But yeah, no, I don't have a problem with that as long as it's clear. Baron, thank you for the donation. Raf, I've got a question. Yeah, sure. Talking point, but would take more than a super chat to flush out. I see. Well, maybe try to find a way to make it a little concise, if possible. You're on the road to 1,000 members. Yeah, little by little, you know? Even if the growth is slow, as long as it's steady. Same on Twitch, by the way. Cortova says, I'm a Morrowind fan through and through. We need to do a Morrowind playthrough one of these days. I keep mentioning games. Man, I need a 48 hours day. Light 7 Foot says Australian politics is so boring. I don't know anything about Australian politics, like at all. I don't even know the name of anything, not even the parties and whatnot. But then again, how many of you know the names of the parties of Italian politics? I don't know. Depends. Okay, Baron. So for context, a question for clarification. In Sengoku era Japan, where there's samurai who were attracted to other samurai, it is relevant for the situation I wish to put forward. Yeah, same-sex attraction within the samurai caste is documented, absolutely. Up to what extent is documented and up to what extent is a bit exaggerated in movies is actually the center of a video that I am making. To actually, but it's taking some time because we are reading the sources in feudal Japanese, so it takes some time to translate. But yeah, no, for sure, it is attested. Same-sex attraction and homosexuality within the samurai caste is attested in the sources. Yes. A lot of these TV shows, man, Rings of Power. Yeah, I got bored with Rings of Power. Daggerfall for the win. I do love Daggerfall, Talos. Talos says, documented and accepted are different. For sure. But then again, do remember that Japan is not a Christian country. So, of course, homosexuality in medieval Christian Europe is one thing. In Japan, it would still have been something relatively private. But you don't have the perspective of, for instance, the Christian church. Therefore, it would be a bit more tolerated, particularly if you're like, again, upper class. Because if you're upper class, you can do whatever you want. This applies in reality to all societies. Right? But yeah, you do have a good point there. It's a good thing to have not enough time of the day. You get stuff done. Yeah, I mean, sure. So Baron says, okay, I played Shadows. Okay, did you? And you can romance, although shallowly, a few NPCs as Yasuke. One I see well executed, another poorly. More text to follow. I see, then I'll wait. Anyone remember Zork? Yeah, people have mentioned it, Halfgazo. I wonder, what kind of game is it? Zork. Let me see. We have a complete guide to Zork. Which one is Zork? You're getting me curious while we wait for Baron to finish his comment. Which one is Zork? So we are on the Swim YBO channel, by the way. Let's check him out. Oh, it's like text? Like, it reminds me a bit of Microsoft Adventure, if that's what it is. Man, I need to find a copy of Microsoft Adventures. Let me see if does it have any graphics. Wow, look at this guy's beard. Game Masters. Who is this guy? He looks awesome. Yeah, I think it is text-based, right? Yeah, they don't like take the egg. It is. Man, I love this type of games. Old text-based. Awesome. Man, I might watch this after the stream. It looks interesting. Plus, the beard is great. It's raining, Jersey Girl. Hey, we keep asking you, what's the puppy? I know we ask you when you're out, but what type of puppy is it? We need to know the breed. So Baron says, one romantic with a companion who seems to not be of samurai class, and it's all right, but where it got wrong is with execution. The scene is rather crudely done and crass. Oh yeah, if the scene is crass, I don't like it, honestly. So I appreciate that you're being... I understand. Yeah, I mean, even if the companion is not samurai class, and in theory in the game you are samurai class, I guess that would have happened. For sure, but as I say, if the execution is not good and it looks crass, yeah, it's not great. He's a miniature schnauzer. Let's Google it, guys. Let's Google it. We need to see Jersey's puppy. Pupsy. It could be a pupsy. It's a new name. There we go. I just made a word. Miniature. There we go. Schnauzer. Let's have a look. Oh my gosh. Oh, I see. Yeah, very cute. Very cute. Let's see. These went here. What color? We gotta know the color. It's important matters here. Man, look at this one. Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes on this one. Cute breed, yeah. So, mine, as you know, I've got a Pomeranian, right? Pupsy, does it come in diet? I guess. I got a Pomeranian, but let me tell you this much. Pomeranian. Have you ever seen a Pomeranian with a bowl haircut? It's like I've been trying to convince my wife I need a petition. Because that's what I would do. I'll show you. This is... 1 second. This is incredible. This is incredible. Look. It's a circle. It's a perfect circle. You have to wait for that, Baron, because we got a Pomeranian and he's a circle. Look at that. It's glorious. It's epic. It's legendary. I have to figure out a way to convince my wife to turn our Pomeranian into a perfect sphere. Yeah. Anyways, just so you know, so much maintenance. Yeah, we already take them every 6 weeks anyways. 6 to 8 weeks, to be honest. 6 to 8 weeks. He is a pupsy, great. Yo, you're watching him for the weekend, I see. You're like, what is it, puppy sitting? Smoky black and grey, nice. So you say the other romance is with a fellow samurai and is much more subtle. I see. It culminates in the two just looking deeply into each other's eyes. Engage. I understand, right? Yeah, I mean, sure. It depends how you write it, I guess. But yeah, in feudal Japan, it would have happened. But as I say, now that we have established that, it would be more interesting to really see up to what extent. Because already the samurai is a very small percentage within the population of Japan. It is so interesting that such a small minority percentage had such a massive control and power over the rest of the population. Of course, this is always the case with aristocracy, but with the samurai it's really interesting because they are a warrior class, so they are higher in percentage than just nobility, but they're still a small percentage considering the amount of power they had. And within that percentage, another percentage would be with homosexuality. So that would be interesting to see what actual numbers we're talking about. And unfortunately, you would have also had situations, because what you're describing now in the game sounds like they're both consenting. Unfortunately, that wouldn't always be the case, because if you have a samurai who is more powerful, he will use his power and influence if he's attracted to a lesser samurai to A-word his power and position. That would have happened too. So yeah, I'm not sure I would want to see that represented in a game, but you know what I mean. There's a lot to unpack. My parents have a Boston Terrier. Man, today we're about Boston Terrier. Today we're about dogs. Haha, look at that. Look at that. Man, these streams are all over the place. And I don't care. It's a form of art. Look at that face. I love dogs. Thank you so much, Random User 7547, for becoming a member of the channel. It's very much appreciated. Welcome to the inner circle, my friend. So just to let you know, not only on Friday we have the member dedicated streams, but we also have usually 30 minutes every live stream is also dedicated to members. Just to let you know, even though you joined a little late in the stream, so I don't know how long we're going to continue the stream tonight, but every stream, there is a 30 minutes dedicated to members anyways. You had a Bichon. Oh yeah, Bichon are nice. We have a Bichon Frise half Maltese. It's crossbreed. American Bulldog, man. Good stuff. Yeah, thank you for joining. Really appreciate that. Exactly, Jersey Girl. Puffball. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I think Pomeranians should all be turned into balls of fur. Like, it should be mandated. It should be by law. And how are you guys doing on Twitch, by the way? Because I also have Twitch. In the meantime, I give more during the members live streams. I do kind of give priority to reading member chat, but I also read a little bit of Twitch. Hey, Purple Moose. There you go. Want to say hi to Purple Moose? Let's say hi to Purple Moose. Thank you, Raphael, for supporting the stream. I appreciate the generosity. Hey, Metatron, you've talked about women as warriors before. Yes, but what about in the modern context? How much of a thing do you think it was, apart from the recent push in some places and the female snipers Stalingrad? Yeah, I mean, you know, when you involve firearms, then I guess it's easier for a woman to become a quote-unquote warrior, although we don't call soldiers warriors these days. With that being said, it's still always going to be a minority. I think because at the end of the day, it's a lot less the number of women are even interested in warfare. There are some, but by comparison, It's different. But then again, in the modern period, like what, Napoleonic war times, I won't, like, not that I know of. Can't think of a single example, to be honest. Let me think of even during the American Civil War, there might be some exceptions, but it's still the exception of the rule. Jessica, yeah, exactly. I guess. I would imagine so, but then again, it's Pomeranian supremacy. Thank you, APOC. There is plenty of societies who had female warriors, but they were always in a supportive role, such as archers. Not always, APOC. We do have some mentions, as I often speak about the Sarmatians who did fight hand-to-hand with spears on horseback. But as I say, it's very rare. It's very rare. The majority of warriors in history were men, and that's true. But there are situations in which it's different. And of course, there are some cases in which, like, women help during a siege because, you know, they don't have enough men. So, of course, the women will help. That is documented, but it's not the normal thing, because usually women and children put in ancient antiquity and medieval period, women and children put in a safe place. The men, crossbowmen, archers, they man the battlements. That is the norm. But there are exceptions sometimes. There are exceptions. Oh, you got hacked for your user ID? Sorry to hear that, Halfgazo. Yesterday archers are today snipers. Oh yeah, I mean, some medieval archers were absolutely snipers. They could hit you in the face. Like you lift your visor and the archer hits you. I mean, they hit a king in the face. Was a prince still, Henry. They still hit him in the face from such a distance. So yeah, medieval archers were absolutely closer to a sniper if you think about it. Because they were really good at trying to hit you where your armor doesn't defend as much. Like, they were definitely precision strikers in a lot of cases. I never used Kick Bazaar, but I don't know anything about it. Might have a look at it, but then again, right now I'm kind of focusing on Twitch, focusing on YouTube streaming. We'll have to see. I wonder what's the documented battle that had the most women actively fighting. There is one documented by the Romans where they didn't know that the enemy had an actual core of women. And they defeated them, because it's the Romans we're talking about. And then when they removed the helmets, they were surprised that it was women. Which tells us two things. It gives us a historical source that talks about a battle that did have women, and they didn't even notice that these people weren't fighting as well as the other guys. So they were well trained. But it also gives us that in classical antiquity, they marveled at it, which means it's not the norm. The Romans were like, what on earth? Women in armor? What are they doing? So for the Romans, that was insane. And the Romans were the most professional military machine ever. But these are people from the steppes. So different culture. They still lost because of the Romans. We're talking about professional soldiers. But it's interesting. There is that. There is also a mention of a battle against a Celtic tribe where the women also fought, but they weren't professional fighters. It's just that it was a last struggle, and the men were being defeated, so the women took up the axes from the dead men and tried to fight against the Romans and lost. But the Romans did say that they were raging, like they were trying to jump on the shields and smack them in the face. The jumping on shields, by the way, you sometimes see it on the movies. It actually is mentioned in the sources, and there is a mention during a Celtic battle, Romans versus Gauls in Gallia, where it's the Romans that jump on top of the shields of the Gauls, because the Gauls are executing a well done, tight, packed formation with a shield wall, and the Romans jump on the shield. Yeah, history sometimes is crazier than fantasy. Hey there, Jonathan Mora, good to have you here. Yeah, they were surprised, Solid. At least if we read the sources, they were absolutely surprised. Yeah. Is there a difference between Gaelic and Celtic? Celtic is more of an umbrella term. Everything is Celtic within all of the different varieties, and Gaelic is one of a subcategory. That's how you could see it. Yeah, It is actually interesting how the British Celts, we have the Romans tell us of the difference between continental Celts and island Celts, so in Britain. And it's so interesting because the Celtic realities in Britain are kind of frozen in time, in the sense that they still had chariots, even after chariots were abandoned in the continent within the Celtic tradition. They still had druids, even though the druids in Celtic, in the continental Gaul, they still had them, but the druids in Britain were considered to be repertoires of ancient knowledge that had gone lost, that was lost in the continent. And so continental Celts from Gaul would go to Britain to study, like a bit of an Erasmus, if you will, or like a, so that's mentioned in the sources. And when you look at when you see Celts that are fighting the Romans and they have painted blue or green, we don't know if they were tattoos or it was actually body paint, but you know what I'm talking about. Those are Brittonic, because even though we do have mentions, and that's what I believe, I've looked into the sources, and I think that the continental Gauls ancestrally did use body paints. There is a coin that shows a continental gold with a little swirl that we see in Brittonic context, but they had abandoned it. But they did keep it in the island. This often happens. Islands tend to be linguistically and socially more conservative when it comes to the preservation of ancient traditions. And that's why, for example, even in the Sicilian language, we tend to do things that they did in Latin, but in modern Italian they don't do anymore, such as putting the verb at the end. We tend to do it in the emphatic clause. And similarly, likewise, which one is the Nordic country that has a closer connection to Old Norse? Iceland, because it's an island. So islands tend to preserve traditions that then the continents usually change. And so that's why I think a lot of these ritualistic aspects of Celtic realities were found and preserved in the Brittonic context, but they were gone or considered obsolete, like the chariots in war, in continental warfare. And it's fascinating. Yeah, woad, exactly. Now, whether or not, we don't know if they are tattoos or body paints, because the Latin verb that they use to describe this body paint, these colors that they applied to their skin, the Latin term can be used for both. Sometimes you use it for dyeing clothes, and when you dye a cloth, it's permanent, so it gives that idea, but we're not sure. We don't know. It could be that it's just body paint. Who knows? But the color it could be either blue or green, and we don't know once again because they use both. We have no idea. Thank you, Obi-Wan Shinobi. I love that. That's a great name, man. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. New sub, bro. Yeah, that's fantastic. Love the content. Been a fan for years. May the truth prevail. Thank you so much. Do remember that every Friday we have these, subscriber dedicated streams, member dedicated streams, and then 30 minutes of every live stream is dedicated for member chat. So thank you so much. 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. The supposed magic body paint armor. Yeah, they thought they had some magical property, and a lot of it probably was ritualistic, psychological even. But yeah. Maybe some was green and some was blue. That's possible, Nicholas, yeah. They use both terms in Latin. So who knows? Not to mention sometimes when you talk about ancient cultures, it's difficult because blue and green, if you look at the color wheel, since we're going there. There you go. Okay. So when you look at the color wheel, blue and green are very close. And we would all call this one blue. We would all call this one green. The problem with ancient languages is this. So anything in between, a bit of the teal, and then all of the different in-betweens when like it's blue, but it's getting towards green. The place where you put a line and say it stops being blue and it becomes green after you cross this, it's different in so many cultures and in so many language that it's why translating other languages can become problematic when you're like, okay, but to you, is this a blue or is it a green? It happens in Chinese, it happens in Old Norse, it happens in African languages. In fact, there are African languages that have, they don't differentiate between blue and green, but they will differentiate between varieties of subcategories of green that we don't. So like, and then of course, it's a fascinating thing. I absolutely love how colors work. Within the realm of translation, this in fact, it's an even better example. Where do you draw the line is cultural, and it's a construct, and so it varies enormously. Now clearly the waves are the same, but what stops becoming blue and turns into green, yeah, it varies. Even modern languages, Japanese, man, I've had a few discussions with the Japanese because I was like, they were like, can you pass me the blue cup? And I'm like, there is no blue cup. Like the one over there. And I'm like, oh, that's green. No, that's blue. Because we were placing that mark in a different section, which is why the stoplight in Japanese is consistently called blue, while for me, it's green. Yeah, the translator is colorblind. Yeah, that can make things even a bit more complicated, right? I'm so looking forward to Doom Dark Ages, Jonathan. Absolutely. Rise Son of Rome is 100% a game I need to play one of these nights. I only played it a little bit. Well, you know who is colorblind? Malanga, Corrado Malanga, the guy that tells us he can interpret all of those different colored 3D, whatever, 2D scans of the SAR technology for what's underneath the pyramid. He's colorblind. I remember during the conference, the 4-hour conference that I watched in Italian for you, and I'll never do it ever again. I remember there is one part, I know that's funny, Arancino. There's one part where he keeps insisting, and he's like, look at this brown box, and I'm like, which brown box? And it was orange, but he saw it brown, because the guy is colorblind. Now, I would never make fun of someone who's colorblind. The only reason why I do it is because he was making fun of another person who was a scientist, but he was making fun of her, saying because she didn't think that his interpretation of these scans was correct. And he's like, what does she know? She's colorblind. And I'm like, well then, sorry, I'm going to turn it back to you. You made fun of her. If she cannot understand your scans because she's colorblind, then neither can you. And of course logically, and his response to that was, well, yeah, but I use AI and AI never gets anything wrong. And that's when I'm like, is this guy for real? Is this guy for real? AI never gets anything wrong? And then you show me ChatGPT? Yeah, here we are. I don't believe a word that comes out of Corrado Malanga and Armando May, both of them. Filippo Biondi, I don't have a problem with, because the guy seems to know what he's talking about when it comes to the SAR technology. So I don't have a problem. I don't know why he works with those two, but I don't have a problem with him. That's the only reason I'm even entertaining the possibility that maybe there is something underneath those pyramids, but I don't know what it is. Certainly, I'm not going to entertain what Armando May suggested in one of the latest interviews that I watched, where he said that the shafts are used for the production of energy, literally electricity. That's what he said. That, I'm like, you know what? No. Unless you show me. If you show me, then I'm like, okay, guys, I was wrong. Great. Yeah, AI never gets anything wrong is insane as a statement to make. The guy literally said it. I heard it first language. He said it in Italian. There was no translation. I know exactly what he said. So yeah. Yeah, the stoplight is still red. That's true. Yeah, exactly, Legato. Hope he doesn't use those colors. Rise is a fun game, but the story is a LSD trip, really. Yeah, I remember not really getting into the story that much when I tried playing it a little bit, but I didn't really give it a fair chance. I need to give it a good shot. So yeah. Anyways, so we got the last 5 minutes. I'm gonna unlock chat because I'm gonna stop in 5 minutes just to say hi. in case someone has questions, some people want to say something. And last 5 minutes, and then it's cooking time, guys. What should I eat? I need your help. What should I eat, guys? And thank you again for everyone joining the channel and supporting the production here. Very much appreciated. Did you ever play For Honor? I have a whole series of videos on For Honor on my YouTube channel Metatron. A whole series. I used to like burger, you say, guys? Ooh, burger or pasta, pizza. I think I had pizza recently. What are the options for food? I don't even know what we've got downstairs, to be honest. I can always order, though. Maybe a sub? Man, how about a cheesesteak, guys? From Jersey Mike's. How about a cheesesteak? You say soup, Jonathan? Hey, Buff Guts, good to see you here. Thank you for being here. But yeah, For Honor was a good game. I just got bored because it became a little repetitive. But I did play through that game quite a bit. My favorite faction was the Knight faction. But I did put quite a lot of hours into playing as one of the samurai guys. I don't remember the name of the class. The one with the big Nodachi. The kind of the DPS guy. I don't know his name anymore. It's been too long. Then they came out with a Roman, and I put a decent amount of hours into the Gladiator guy. The Centurion, sorry. Not the Gladiator. I know the Gladiator came out too, but the Centurion was my guy. I just hated that they didn't give him a shield. That pissed me off. Ooh, pasta aglio e olio. It's without a G though. The second word is just O-L-I-O. But yeah, pasta aglio e olio, I haven't had it in a while. Kensei, yeah, that's the one, the swordsman. Because Kensei means swordsman in Japanese. Incredibilis, he does say that. Yeah. Appreciate that, Chanzig. Thank you very much. You have a fresh homemade tiramisu in the fridge, Bundy Undead? Wow. Yeah, my cousin makes a killer tiramisu. It's always nice to have. Yeah, so silly. No shield for the Roman. They did give a shield to the Gladiator, but the Gladiator was a bit of a mixed match because he used the trident, like a Retiarius, but he had the shield of the Oplomachus. So it was kind of a mix. But then again, it's fantasy, so it's not like it has to be Rome exactly. It's just that it's one of those things. Get some Yorkshire puddings. Where am I going to find Yorkshire puddings in America? Gravy, mashed potatoes. That'd be great, Retrorix. Totally. You love Nobushi and Kensei. Yeah, Kensei was fun to play. Kensei was pretty strong. Because he has that very simple combo where you do the strong attack and then the last one is unblockable. And if you play against someone who isn't very experienced, they always try to block it. And so that was usually pretty good. Like, you can dominate with the Kensei if it's against early players. You just spam strong attack. Yeah. Focaccia with pesto, mortadella, burrata. Ooh, with some pistachio. Man, you're a man of culture. That sounds good. Yeah, a bit like they make them in Tuscany, in Florence. What is Yorkshire puddings? I'll show you. They eat them in England, and it's kind of a side to... You make them as a side. You put them on the side of your plate, and then you can put gravy on top, and then you'll have some meat and mashed potatoes. I do meet them. I do miss them. I used to love Yorkshire puddings. So, yeah, these ones here. That's it. So, I think they're made with wheat. Am I right? And then, as you can see, then you pour your Yorkshire pudding on it. And then what the English do is that they will cut a little bit of Yorkshire pudding. Then they put it on top of the fork upside down. So on the back of the fork. That's how they do it. If you're English, you know exactly what I'm saying. And then you put a little bit of mashed potatoes. You put a little bit of green peas. And that's it. That's how you eat it. As a true Englishman. I'm not a true Englishman, but I did live there in my late teens, so I know that. Am I right? I know for a fact if you're from England, you're like, totally. Because that's how the English eat it. Yeah, traditional Yorkshire puddings, love it. With a bit of gravy on top. Simple man with simple needs, I guess. Be nice to find somewhere in America where I could get these. Have I ever tried haggis? No, not my thing. Not my thing, to be honest. That's Scottish, isn't it? Looks good, but not very pudding-like. True, I don't know why they're called like this, but then again, in America, pudding is basically like a gelatin thing, but in England, pudding is any dessert can be called pudding. So already the way they use the word is broader. So what's for pudding? It could be cheesecake. And in that situation, cheesecake is pudding. But I think in America, pudding is just the jello thing. It's like very specific. So yeah, now I don't know why that is called, but I have no idea. I haven't got a clue. I'm English and I can verify this about Yorkshire puds. I knew it. Yeah, I know. That was one thing that that blew my mind. The fact that you guys pack stuff on top of the fork upside down. But I got used to it and I started eating like that myself. You're English and Italian. Very cool. Yeah, me too. I love English food. I know it's always a meme because the English are very like... English people love making fun of their own food. They make a lot of memes. I remember this meme where it was like, in French, you say bon appétit. In Italian, you say buon appetito. In England, you say never mind. So they have some good, they're good sports. The English are good sports, but it's a meme. The reality is that they do have some really good food in England. But it's mostly the food, apart from the chippies, it's mostly the food that you make at home. Like the English are great with pies, like making pies. Shepherd pie, for instance, is very good in England. So yeah, you can find some really good stuff. Roast, Sunday roast with a little parsnip. You could tell I lived in England. That's actually kind of fun because I lived in England, lived in Japan, and now I live in America. And of course, I'm from Italy. You know, I know what I'm talking about when it's food because I lived it all when it comes to these things. So like in America, if you ask me about it, like what do you like for breakfast? I'll tell you all about Dunkin' and then the, sausage, egg and cheese English muffins. They're really good. That's where if you want an English muffin, Dunkin' is better. But if you want a double smoke bacon, you gotta go to Starbucks. Like I know my stuff when it comes to these things. And every time I say it, like the locals are like, yeah, totally. Sunday dinner is a mainstream, yeah, in the UK. The only thing that was kind of weird for me in the UK when I was living there is that some people would have dinner at freaking 4 in the afternoon. How is that dinner? 5, I guess 5 and 6 is a bit more common, but I've been invited by people, come for tea, they would say, and then it's at 4 and it's dinner. So I would have to eat a very light lunch in order to be able to comply. But as a man about strategy, I knew how to organize that, of course. Yeah. Do you like Heinz beans on toast? 100%. That's a lifesaver. They're great. And I do in Publix and Target. I don't know about Target, but at Publix you can absolutely find them in the US. Heinz beans, just like in the UK, and they taste the same. Now I don't know if they add more sugar in the US just because. I have no idea, but they do taste really good. It tastes comparable. People have dinner over here in the States at 4 2, 1600s at 4 2 sometimes. Goodness gracious, how do you guys? It's like the Navy. It's like I'm in the military. You remind me of Metal Jesus Rocks. I do watch him sometimes. Praxeria. Never drank a cup of Bovril. No, I don't know what that is. Yeah, very cool. All right, guys, so I think I'm going to go make some dinner. But thanks so much for stopping by for this live stream. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for becoming members of the channel. So Saturday and Sunday, I usually don't live stream. And if I do end up live streaming, it will be not at 5 p.m. like usually. But it's going to be like some kind of gaming stream. And it's probably going to happen around 11:30. But so for people on Twitch, you'll absolutely see that because I always multi-stream on Twitch. When it comes to the main channel, probably not, but I might be streaming on my third channel, the gaming one. But anyways, thank you so much. The regular videos are still gonna be posted tomorrow and Sunday because I post every day. In fact, tomorrow, just to give you a little anticipation, the video I'm gonna post is gonna be a review of oversimplified video on the Austrian painter. You know who I'm talking about. So it's gonna be. It's been a while since I did a good reaction video, adding some stuff. Basically, my overcomplicate series where I react and overcomplicate oversimplified productions. And by the way, I have spoken about this directly with the creators of Oversimplified, and they are totally cool with me using their videos. So I have their blessing. And so tomorrow, that's what I'm posting. So if it's something that you're interested in, it's going to be posted tomorrow, probably around 12 Central. And then I still don't know what I'm going to post on Sunday. We'll figure it out. Thank you so much, guys. The Austrian painter, that's how we have to say it. Yeah, him. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate your support. Thank you for your generosity. Have a good one. And hello, Praxeria. First time chat. Bye. Ciao, ciao. Have a good dinner.